What's up, tricksters and tricksetters, and welcome to another free VOD review. Today at our coaching table, we have my dear friend called Jack in a Box, or Jack I Box, I don't know, like, names and stuff like that. And he is an Immortal 3 player playing Raze on Splitteroni. Now, with this guy, I did one-time coaching session at the end of November, as far as I remember. He had some kind of a training to do for like 3 months. We didn't really stay in touch that much as I would like to. I cannot really, leak my messages with this guy, but you need to trust me on this one. Like, he didn't really abuse my anal cavity as much as I suggest people to do it, in a non-sexual way, like just sending the VODs, sending the clips for a review, asking me the questions and stuff like that. Because when you get one-time coaching, like, you can ask me unlimited amount of questions per day. You can share with me 3 clips for a private review, and he never did that. But he did have a solid improvement plan and program to follow for like 3 months. And I have no idea what happened with him because, as I said, we didn't stay in touch that much. This free VOD review is just like a checkup to see like what he can do better. And how you can get these free VOD reviews yourself is simply join my Discord server, and on every 50 Twitch subs, 50 new subs, I organize giveaways for Valorant points, coaching, whatever, like a lot of different stuff. Now, he didn't really say anything here, so let's just read this paragraph. Problem. We were up 5-0, and we was on attack on split. We was moving through them, but after the first 5 rounds, we started to crumble and bring the half to 6-6. I want to know how we can stop throwing rounds to win the games. Usually, what is the problem when you're winning a lot in Valorant? Like, for example, I see this a lot. Like, you're winning 4 rounds in a row, 5 rounds in a row, 6 rounds in a row, 7 rounds in a row. Why all of a sudden you end the half 7-5, 6-6, or maybe you lose it 5-7? The reason for that is focus. Mindset and focus, primarily. Like, the more you're winning, so the more you're winning, the focus of your teammates is going lower. Why? Because the game is easier. And your teammates will start doing some unexplainable decisions, something that otherwise they wouldn't do, because their focus is going down. Why is their focus going down? Because the match is easy. Same shit happens in real life as well. Like, like I don't know what would be the good analogy. Like, for example, you're playing 1 versus 1 karting. You're racing with your friend, for an example, and you see that you're in a very, very big lead. Like, essentially, you're here, your friend is here. When you're going through all of these serpentines, through all of these edges on the map, you start to make more mistakes because you're a bit more relaxed, and you start giving a bit less shit. And all of a sudden, this gap here, instead of being this big, it becomes like this. That guy catches up to you because your focus drops down and you change your mindset how you play that specific game. So what is really important in these type of matches where you're winning a lot is that your focus doubles, essentially. So the more you're winning, the higher your focus should become, because the focus of your teammates is going to go lower. So what you really need to focus on, once you notice that enemies are bad, once you notice that we're punishing enemies a lot, you need to start focusing more on what the fuck your teammates are doing instead of focusing on enemies. Because your teammates will probably make more mistakes that will lose you the rounds, rather than enemies making some kind of a crazy comeback or the crazy play. Yeah, basically, the rabbit and the turtle. That's probably the best the best analogy, you know, like turtle wins the race, essentially, even though it falls behind. So that is mega important when you're grinding in ranked solo queue. Like you will notice in this specific match, like right now we played a match on Icebox, and we were winning 7-0, and we ended the half 9-3, which is still fucking good. But a lot of the times what I see happen is players are winning 7-0, and they end the half 7-5. So, yes, I lost 3 rounds. We lost 3 rounds. But it is still better rather than losing 5 rounds. And throughout this whole half, even though I was winning 7-0, my focus remained the same. I was still tryharding. I was focusing on my teammates, focusing on enemies, doing proper utility usage. I was not allowing myself to get relaxed. So that is something that you need to practice as you're actually playing the games. Like, there's no simple solution for this. It's something that you build up as you think more about it. Like, as soon as I see that the match is like 4-0 or 5-0, I don't know, I instantly activate some kind of a hyper-focus mode. Where, like, I focus primarily on my teammates, on what the fuck I'm doing, and I don't give a fuck about enemies that much, because if I'm already winning 5-0, enemies are probably not that good anyways, you know? Like, my team is better. I just need to correct their future mistakes, and we're probably gonna win that specific match. Now, another problem that I see in ranked solo queue is you're gonna win a half really hard, like 9-3. So you're on the attacker side, and on attack, you win 9-3. On defense, all of a sudden, you are 11-11. How does that fucking happen? That happens because of a mindset problem again. Like, when you switch the sides, when you go from attack to defense, or from defense to attack, you're playing a new match. You know? Like, you're not behaving towards that game like you have a good teammates, you have bad enemies and stuff like that. Like, you never know in Valorant, when you switch the sides, how good your teammates are gonna play on that side. Because on attacker side, you might have, you know, 10s in your team, while on defense, you have a full team of 11s. And trust me, this guy is nowhere near the 10s. So for an example, whenever you switch the sides in Valorant, you go from attack to defense or from defense to attack, it's a new match for you. Like, the first 4 rounds, 300% focus. We don't trust our teammates at all. We need to see if we can actually trust them, and how much we can trust them, and what the fuck they're gonna do, and what type of mistakes they're gonna do. We follow the set of rules that we need to follow on a specific map, and after the 4th round, essentially at around 5th round, then we ask ourselves how we want to play around these teammates, around these enemies, and we have all of the information that we need to adapt our playstyle properly. A lot of the times I see, like, you know, players will continue the same playstyle on both sides, on both attack and defense. They'll have the same playstyle, only because they won enormous amount of rounds on one of these sides. And that will fuck them up. Like, you need to, you know, once the sides switch, you have your default playstyle and default mindset that we need to have in ranked solo queue. And then from the round 4, 5, 6, you're changing your playstyle based on that default playstyle, based on how good are your teammates on defense or attack, and based on how enemies are good on, you know, how good they are on defense or attack. So these are the 2 most common problems, like why some easy matches can turn into a complete fucking shit show. Because, you know, like, for example, you win 9-3 on the attacker side, and then you switch to the defender side, and in the first round, what you do, you instantly commit to some idiotic, retarded 50-50 fight. Instantly. You die because you trust your teammates, you think they're as good as they are on the attacker side, the round is lost. Then we lose the second eco round. Then in a third round, in the first full buy, once again, you're playing full on confidence, like you don't give a fuck about the numbers, about anything, about any default rules and plays that we need to follow in ranked solo queue. You lose the third round as well because of that, for an example. Once again, you do some idiotic play that you wouldn't do if you were not winning 9-3, for an example. Then, fourth round, eco round, and voila. You're already 9-7. And the match is already close, for absolutely no reason. Like, you could have seen, like, right now, I'll give you the analogy of my Icebox game. Like, we on the attack, we were like 9-3 on the attacker side. We won the first round on defense. We were 10-3. And then, in this round, I was left. And then we won the second round as well. Sorry, easily. We were 11-3. And in this round right here, I was left 1v1 against enemy Viper with only the Outlaw. I played that round with, like, I had 500% focus to win that round. I was following all of the rules when it comes to isolating the angles. You know, she needed to pick up the spike and plant it somewhere. I was not exposing myself, like, I was not forcing a fight. I was playing around I played around like the match was like, I don't know, 2-2 for an example, or I was losing the game. So that is very important. You know, that playstyle and that mindset is very important when you're grinding in ranked solo queue. Now, let's see his tracker first. Like, Dr. Freezy is a frenzy expert. What type of comment is that? Okay, so this is his tracker. So first of all, I did coaching with this guy at the end of episode 9, act 3. So that is when me and the Jack in a box did a only one session, and that was it. Immediately in the next act, he had 58% win rate. Brother, actually, this was fucking good. Like, what the fuck is this, man? To be honest, like, if you just why you didn't continue playing in this act? Like, I mean, training was working, apparently. Everything was working for you. Why did you only play 49 hours? I mean, my dude plays every act, like, hundreds of hours. And in the act where I actually gave you an improvement plan and training and everything, you decide, my fuck it, like 50 hours. This is actually really nice, man. Like, I don't know what to say, bro. Like, you reached your new peak rank of 380 rank rating. You came back from the slump. Why did... You basically shot yourself in the foot. You know? Like, why did you, like, stop with this consistent grind? I don't know, probably happened something with him in real life, but I don't know, like, dude, brother, like, this was very fucking good, you know? I don't know what's happening in this act, but to be honest, you didn't play that many matches. You played only 25 hours again, which is literally nothing, you know, compared to other acts. But I don't know, man, like personally, well, because of this act right here, I wouldn't change anything. I would simply continue with the same aim training, same improvement plan, same everything that you did in January and February. Because this was really nice and really good run. I don't know, let me see what he did. What he did there. Clove, Neon, Cypher. Okie dokie, bro. Like, this was really, really good, man. Raze as well. Just a second, guys. I need to check, like, what did I recommend him to main, bro? Like, just a moment, chat. Because I don't remember Well, Jet, Neon, Raze, Clove, Cypher. Okay, I mean, yeah, you did everything that I told you to do. This was... The plan was working. This sect something is not working. I mean, Clove got nerfed a bit, you know, the smokes and stuff. It's not that powerful anymore. But, I don't know why here you didn't have a confidence to push it even further. How much do you play of Valorant this sect? Yeah, we had a bit of downtimes here and there. January. I don't know. This sect, like, you really stop, like, whatever you did in this ranked, in this act right here, like, if you followed everything that I told you to follow, if, like, I would just go back to all of that shit, to be honest, like, instantly. I wouldn't have any second guesses, to be honest, because this act was amazing. Really good KST, finally. I think his KST was absolute fucking dog shit. Yeah, 71%. That was one of the problems. Very good K, like... If you can replicate this, again, which I highly believe you can, because it was not like 3 years ago. That would be amazing. And this sect, everything is kinda shit. Did he... Some VCGN theme. Solo, duo, fives. Let me just see something. Solo, duo. Solo, duo. So basically, like, when you had a really high win rate, you were mostly playing solo queue. Which happens to me as well. Like, basically, whenever I duo queue and trio queue and 4 stack, I mean, like, 5 stack, it's a shit show. Because I'm not focused enough, you know, I kind of have that mindset where I have a teammate that will maybe compensate my mistakes, you know. And I'm not try-harding as much as I would try hard, to be honest. When it comes to this act, man, like, basically all of the same problems as you had in this episode, even worse. I'm not gonna speak about your tracker because that much, because we already reviewed your tracker, like, during our coaching. You obviously understand what you need to improve and what you can do better. The only question I have for you once you watch this VOD review later is what did you do during this act that you changed during this one, for an example? And one more thing is, like, that I need to ask you, that you will answer through private messages later, is why did you start playing Valorant less? You know, why, like, why your playtime kind of reduced? Maybe, you know what also happens for a lot of players is you get in these type of teams, you know, way too fast. And you start focusing more on team play rather on individual improvement. Basically, like, once you start playing in teams, a lot of the players simply don't have time anymore to work on themselves. They need to scrim, they need to play with a team, they need to think in a completely different direction. And team play is completely different shit from ranked environment. That can also be one of the problems. And to be honest, like, I mean, Immortal 3, 400 rank rating, okay, I mean, you can definitely search for some teams and start playing, you know, in some contender leagues, Ascension and Premier and that type of shit. Why not? I mean, like, if your goal is to go pro, you should do that at certain points. But I need more explanations when it comes to this sect right here. And your weapon versatility is still like, I mean, you already know it, man, like, this can be much better. Like, Shorty doesn't exist, the Judge doesn't exist, Becky, like, come on, bro, like, you're playing, my dude is playing Raze as one of the main agents. These 3 weapons invisible. Especially on a map such as Split. Operator as well. Come on, man. Come on. I don't know. We'll take a look at this gameplay. You know, we have a Raze on Splitteroni. And we'll see what our friend can do better and why the fuck this match went from 5-0 to God knows what. Okay, now let's start with the attacker side of Splitteroni with a Razeroni. TLDR when it comes to the map. How you play this map in the first few rounds heavily depends on enemy's team composition. That's the only thing that you're looking, you know, for. The information that you need to gather. Essentially, if enemies have 0 sentinels, hardcore sentinels, such as Vise, Deadlock, Cypher, Killjoy, and stuff like that, 3 times in a row, we're pushing A site together as 5 and doing the most default executes possible. Essentially, you know, we're just doing smokes for the CT, for the screens, smoke for the rafters. We're using a nade to pressure the enemy somewhere on the site. You know, we can use some kind of airstrike nade to deny some of the space from the enemy team. And with the Raze, you're just buying 2 classic pistol, 2 satchels, and a light shield. And your job is to double satchel instead of this position. From this position, you're taking the space with your teammates on site. Now, and in the 4th round, we are faking A going B, or we are faking B going A. I've explained in every single VOD review why this is the best pattern of pushing ba ba boo ba ba ba, and also in the ranked playbook on my Discord server. Now, if enemies have 1 sentinel, hardcore sentinel, you can try to gamble and try to do the same shit. But whenever enemies don't have the Sage in their team, usually the best idea for the first round is doing a 1-4 split through mid. Essentially, you leave one of your sentinels or the most useless teammate to lurk through the B main and to take this space alone, and 4 of you guys together with a spike are fighting for the mid control. We're using the smokes here, smoke here, taking the space on mid, tower, and pinching the B site together. Now, if enemies have 2, or God forbid they have more than 2 sentinels, in that case scenario we need to fight for the A tower control in the first round. Basically like doing a 5-man push on A tower. We're using only 1 smoke here like this, and 4 of your teammates should be moving towards the ramp while you are using double satchels to get into this rafter smoke. And then we are pinching the enemies on tower, taking the tower control first, and then we are deciding what to do next. Based on the information that you get and how many kills you get, you either want to end up on A site, or you want to move through the vents and reset around towards the B site. Essentially, A tower and B tower are your solutions when the 5-man executes on B and A are not working at all. And when enemies have a heavy utility team comp on a defender side. You know, they have like Breach, Vise, plus Cypher, Cypher plus Killjoy, plus Vise, plus Viper. Like, you know, 5-man executes, not even worth doing them at the beginning of the match if the enemies have such a team composition. In this match, enemies have only Cypher as a sentinel. So we can try gambling on A site and doing a 5-man push on A, and gambling that the Cypher is the C player. We can try doing a 5-man push on A tower, or we can try doing a 1-4 split onto the B site. The safest option when enemies have only Cypher as a sentinel is probably 1-4 split on B, because even if he is playing the B site, he's not gonna fuck us up with his setup on the actual site if we take the tower control and we fall down onto the site. No matter what you're pushing with Raze, classic light shield, 2 satchels, and we just simply send it, you know, like, let's see what our friend is gonna do.
I'll get info towards it.
Please, you know, in the first round, there is on split, there is absolutely no reason to have a teammate doing some kind of a shit like this. Like, what is the purpose of this cipher right now? Like, first of all, if you're taking the mid control, we need someone going through the B main and getting the contact there and clearing that area of the map. So if we find some kills on mid, we can call for the fast 5-man push onto the B site. Like, in the first, if you have Cypher in the team, on the, just a second, if you have Cypher on the team in the first round, like, he just needs to put a trip right here for this A main flank lurk whatever, and he should be taking the B main control if our idea is to take the mid first and then see what we want to do next. Like, try to correct your teammates when they're doing this type of shit, because literally this cipher right now has absolutely no purpose in the A main area of the map. Especially, he's using a camera. He is revealing his position anyways. So enemies know that, you know, Cypher is there, essentially. I know that, you know, a default play of Cypher players in the first round is like, you know, smoke the... If you're taking the mid control in B main, you know, they want to smoke this, but it is not worth it in ranked solo queue doing this in a first round. It is much better if you're working towards the same objective in the first round.
Cypher now.
I can send them mail if you tell me.
Also, you know, like, I don't understand what is the purpose of this mail smoke. Like, we have 2 teammates in B main, 2 teammates on mid. What are we doing with the mail smoke? Smoke the vents and just take the mid control. But in this scenario, since we know that enemy Cypher is actually playing on A site, we don't need to commit to the initial plan. We can just fully reset the round and just send it B. We know that Cypher is A. We know that 2 or 3 enemies are mid. We got all of the info. Like, right now, simply we should just reset the round towards the B main and do a default execute onto the B site. We don't need to complicate this round anymore or search for any solo fights whatsoever.
They know about me.
We are smoked left on B.
Do you want stun?
I don't know, like, you know, you should definitely try to communicate a bit more in the first round and have this type of a mindset where in the first round you really want your teammates to fight together as 5. You really want them to take some area of the map together, because in the first round, attacker side players have an advantage over the defender side players. We all have semi-automatic weapons. We have more utility than enemies that are defending a specific site. It is easier for us to win this round if we fight together on a refrag potential, rather than scattering on the map so much. Like, Cypher is playing alone, 2 of your teammates are playing in B main, 2 of you guys are playing on mid. What the fuck are we doing?
You want me to smoke vents?
Look at Cypher, just play slow.
I'm walking up.
Okay.
There's one good timing. Yeah, I'm buying.
You want
I'm
stun
gonna
in
take
vents?
flash. Don't be.
Should I stun?
No, it's not.
So 1-7.
I'm back. Just go.
I think we go hit by vents now.
I can stun Evan, stun! Ah, he's not. I guess.
Solid nade.
Go, stop.
To be honest, like, how this round started, you know, how we started this round, and compare how we are right now in the middle of the round, it is not that bad, essentially. Like, you know, we got a bit lucky that the enemy Cypher actually didn't have the camera for the tower, and he didn't have any setup for the 8 tower, which is really unusual for this elo. I really don't know who in Immortal 3 and Radiant lobbies gives the 8 tower control for free. That's kind of stupid, to be honest. But this round would have been like 10 times easier and 10 times more consistent to control if you just call some kind of a simple strategy in the first round of split. Especially against this team composition that enemies have. It is not that good for defensive split. Breach is one danger. Cypher is secondary danger that we need to think about. Waylay, Clove, Reyna, who the fuck cares about them? You know, they don't have any stalling utility or great utility that can impact our executes too much. So, this whole round was essentially a bit of an unnecessary complication overall. Like, once we got the initial info, how the enemies are positioned, we should have simply resetted the round towards the B main and do even a 4-man execute on B. Let the Cypher lurk, you know? Like, he will have even higher chances of surprising the enemies if we are preparing ourselves for a 4-man execute on B.
He's not.
One dead.
The nade users there was fine.
Go, slip.
This was also fine.
Both
Spike
were...
down,
Actually, I'm not
B.
sure.
One
Nice.
enemy
Last was
remaining.
A.
Good.
Start.
Lot open. They can smoke.
Mustafa was man. Okay. This positioning in this 2v1 is horrendous, essentially. Like, we're exposed from 2 different angles. Actually, we're exposed from 3 angles. We probably know that Reyna is in the CT. I think she made a footstep. But still, is there a reason right now to be exposed from, like, all of this shit here? Absolutely not. Like, whenever you end up, like, 2 versus 1, 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1, you know, when the numbers are low for the enemy team, you're 1 versus 1 as well. Your main priority during the post plans is to isolate, actually deny as many of these angles as possible from which enemies can kill you at that moment of time. Based on timing, based on 50-50 fights that your teammates can take, etc, etc. Like, for example, right now, what I would have done if I was this Raze, I would either drop down on the site together with my Omen and simply play here, the double tower setup on these boxes, or let's take the CT space together with a nade and simply let's fight in the CT. Extremely close range fight. Omen can just jiggle pick this, you jiggle pick this, and that's it. We can support each other's in a very efficient way where one cannot die without the other. If the Reyna is defusing, tapping the spike, okay, we just regroup together in this choke point. One guy swings here, one guy swings here. Easy kill. And that Reyna has nothing to do. But right now what can happen, you know, like, Omen can take a solo fight here, commit to that fight. You're playing here. You know? You cannot really position fast to support him. Another problem is, like, from this position here, you don't see deep into the CT. Like, right now, Omen can die from LA without you seeing enemy Reyna. Like, this positioning right now is essentially suboptimal. Just a second, I need to change the skiba, and, like, this is gonna be annoying.
Good shake.
You see, like, for example, that fight that Omen picked, you cannot support Omen in that fight. He's way too far away from you. And if Omen died, Reyna overhealed, you're instantly in a disadvantage for absolutely no reason. Like, in these 2v1 scenarios, like, you just want to navigate your teammates in a way where you're simply prioritizing refrag potential and creating some type of a double peak or double tower setup where enemies have 0 chances to kill you at that moment of time.
Nice.
Okay, now, in a second round, you're simply asking yourself, like, what the fuck we saw in the first round. Enemy Cypher is playing A. Enemy Breach and Waylay played on mid. Enemy Clove is a B player. And enemy Reyna was A player as well. So with all of that information, we can just do a 5-man push on B as an optimal choice. But also, like, whenever you notice that enemies are eco, hull by or bonus on the attacker side, on a defender side of split, usually the most simple solution for split is a 5-man push towards the A site. Enemies don't have that many claustrophobic areas of the map where they can kill you with shotguns, with a triple shot of the classic pistol and that type of shit. And it is a lot easier playing the postment on A site rather than playing a postment on B where, you know, we're most of the times your teammates are going to be stuck here, and God knows what's going to happen if enemies start bombarding us with their utility. But, as I said, like in this round, pushing both A or B S5 is totally fine. Like, there's no reason to lurk, no reason to flank. Like, we should just send it.
Here, we hold this. Maybe he's gonna pick.
I'm just gonna jump across.
Cypher A.
Where is he? I smoke heaven.
I stand default.
Really?
That's fucking unlucky, man. I mean, the nade that he wanted to do was totally fine. Basically, like, you know, doing a nade here to see if the enemies are maybe camping there, and also to destroy potential Cypher trips. Not a bad idea. You know, even if the enemy is standing here, there is a chance that, you know, this explosion might hit him if he's playing on the left side. But most of the times enemies are going to play here. They're not going to be hit, but they're going to be stuck in this position. And at least you clear, you know, this off angle, this spot, and this spot. But yeah, I mean, like, that was a bit unlucky. Usually, I don't know if he used the nade here to clear the Cypher trip or to simply, like, destroy, you know, to deny that position, because usually for this left spot, much better idea is simply using the boombot to scout for the enemies here. But it's really up to you, like...
Really
I flash pillar. Pillar is flash.
solid angle clearing during the satchels.
Seven.
This over-aggression that he did right now is also absolutely fine. The reason why it is fine is because our Yoru is aggressive gorilla. But what we should have focused on here, like whenever you're entering the bomb sites, if the numbers are equal, or you have some kind of an advantage, as you're taking the space, most of the times you should simply focus on taking the space with your most aggressive teammates at that moment of time. Right now we have economy advantage. Like, even if the enemies are, you know, I don't know, like dropping here or whatever, like, fuck them. Your teammates have the bulldogs, they have the vandals, they have better economy. Like, they should be able to win these fights. But the real concern here is what the fuck Yoru is gonna do. Because if the Yoru loses his life and loses the weapon, this round will become 20% harder. Because we lost 20% of our team and a gun. So right now, my full focus would be helping the Yoru. I would instantly drop the boombot to scout for the enemies that are behind this smoke right here, because we have no fucking idea. Like, basically, we have no info what's happening here. We can simply throw some kind of a boombot that travels like this to support our Yoru, peek out together with him, take the CT space. This aggression is totally fine as long as you're doing it with your teammates, or if you're in some kind of a disadvantage, numbers, economy, whatever, taking, you know, this extra space.
I'm planting default. Get a bind, maybe.
I got cage.
Bind.
So essentially, like, you know, this decision that you made here should have been 2 seconds faster. But these 2 seconds could have determined the life of your Yoru.
One. I flash ready. Flash right side.
Listen,
Flash ready.
don't save your utility, even if it is an eco round, and even if you have an advantage. Remember that in a second round, second anti-eco round, your job is not only to win that round, your job is to win it with the least amount of casualties possible. So essentially, in this round, you really don't want to die. So we have a bonus round weapon to fuck up the enemies in the third round as well. A good bonus round weapon such as Stinger, not a fucking sheriff with a heavy shield. And we are preserving our economy for the future rounds. So for example here, I have no idea why you're forcing a fight with a weapon if you already have a boombot. Like, if I saw one enemy is there and my Yoru is, you know, flash this and I peek like this, I would instantly send the boombot, get behind the Yoru, and let the boombot do the job for me. Then I would bait the shit out of my Yoru, let him peek first if he wanna fight. I don't wanna fight here. Why would I fight? I'm 5 versus 3. My job is over as a duelist. I took the space, I made numbers advantage, like, even if I didn't do it, my initial job is done. Now we just need to win this post plant with the least amount of casualties possible. In ranked solo queue, you never know if your teammates are gonna go for the refrags. And that is why it's usually better for you to be the one that is refragging your allies. Obviously, this is not something that you should always do. Sometimes you need to be the front line. You need to be the one taking the first fight, especially if you're low HP or something like that. You should be the bait. You should be the one taking the first fight and first contact. But in this example here, I absolutely give zero fuck about my Yoru. Like, about his life. He also has a sheriff. 800 credits. Who the fuck cares about it? Here, Yoru flashed. Boombot. Let the Boombot do the job for us. We can peek on the contact of Boombot, or we can let the Yoru take the first contact, and we are exactly positioned in a way where we can refrag our Yoru at any moment of time. So if Yoru is taking this fight, I'm here, ready to swing. If Yoru is taking this fight, I'm here, ready to swing. If Yoru is taking this fight, I'm here, ready to swing.
Flash right side.
We did lose only 2 weapons in this round, but essentially, like, you really want to, as I said, like your main mindset during these unequal rounds should be, I just want to win this round in the most painless way possible and preserve my economy as much as I can. Your economy and your team's economy as well. If there is no reason to force some 50-50, then don't do it. Why would you force them? These 50-50 fights. And just rely on your mechanics to win the rounds. Fuck it. You know, like, play a bit smarter these rounds. Because another problem is, like, in lower elos, your teammates are not gonna drop the weapons for you. A lot of the times. And then, for example, if you lose this round, and you lose the next one, the 5th round, you're playing a full eco round. You don't have money for anything. Maybe a shorty only with a few satchels. So you put yourself in a really bad position. You should be like a economy juggernaut for your team. You will notice in my gameplay, because I'm playing this pacifist playstyle, where like I'm not forcing 50-50 fights when I don't need to force them. I have, like, in a lot of rounds, I have double the economy of my teammates. Which allows me to drop the weapons to my teammates an enormous amount of rounds. Your teammates will be the ones that are forcing 50-50s a lot of the time. In ranked solo, a lot of the time. Your job is to support them, to fight with them, to make sure that they don't die, obviously. But even if they die, you are the economy juggernaut. They can give them the weapons if they are already careless when it comes to that specific topic. Now, in this round, pushing the A site is a bit of a suicide. And a bit of a bad idea. 2 reasons why. Reason number 1. We already pushed B site 2 rounds in a row. Let's do some kind of a B split or a B push 3rd round as well. Why? To create this quote-unquote unpredictable pattern of pushing. Like, first of all, even if you lose this 3rd round pushing B, who cares? It's a bonus round, we're testing the enemies and creating a solid pattern of pushing. In the 4th round, we can simply do a fake A, go B, or fake B, go A. We put an enormous amount of mental pressure onto the enemies in this area of the map. And even if you just send your initiator and a sentinel to fake the B site, or a secondary duelist, such as Yoru, enemies will be doing extremely fast rotations onto the B site. Or A site as well, because the only playset that we showcase to the enemies are the 5-man executes. Now, second reason why this would be really good is because if you win the 3rd round, you damage the enemy's mentality a lot. Like when you win 3 rounds in a row on the same site or same area of the map, in ranked solo queue, especially in Europe. I mean, like, players are like, Jet is, Vele is already blaming Breach and Clove that cannot hold the B set or some shit like that. Like, the blaming game already begins in the enemy team. How the fuck you cannot hold B for 3 rounds and stuff like that? Cypher is already tilted, for an example. Faking the sites become even easier as well. And the third reason why sending it B in this round again would be good. We know that Cypher is playing A. He is playing the first full buy round. We really have zero information what type of setup Cypher is using here. So there is no reason to gamble on the A push, since we have a really good information how the enemies are playing in this area of the map and who is playing in this area of the map. Like, one of the main things that you can abuse in ranked solo queue is the player's lack of adaptiveness. For an example, like, I'm 90% certain that this Cypher is gonna play Ace at this round. I'm not certain, but in 90% of case scenarios, in this third round, Cypher will still play on the A side, with Arena probably. Because players in Valorant very rarely adapt their playstyle, positioning, and how they play the map in the first 4 to 6 rounds. So as you're gathering information in the first, second, and third, and fourth round, winning 5th and 6th round, 4th round as well, becomes super easy. This round as well here, like our third round. This is a bit of a suicide. Only because we have no info on this A side, how enemies are playing and what type of setup Cypher has. Chances are 90% that he's gonna play on the A side. Why would I gamble on the A push right now, when we already know what's happening on mid? Also on split, in these bonus rounds with the Stinger, Shorty, Spectre, whatever, taking kills is easy. You know, like, you can simply tell your Omensky, brother, can you smoke the vents? Can you use a paranoia for this or for this? And just send it. Close range weapons, close range kills. Easier to fight the enemies. With a Spectre, you know, like, Stinger, classic, I don't know what your teammates are playing right now. Taking these kills on A site and A tower might be a bit, you know, it's gonna be interesting, definitely.
Small gap on line.
You want ice on? One HP will die.
Holy shit, that was a spray. A spray and a half. Now, this play that we did here, you know, this, like, I'm so sorry, like, my throat is dying. Like, double satcheling onto ramp with a Stinger, and the Breach stun. I mean, it's a default play on split, and it is totally fine to do it in this third bonus round. It was especially fine in this round because we have no fucking idea where's the Cypher playing and what type of a setup he has. So generally speaking, like, the first time you're pushing A site against the Cypher, against the team that has a Cypher, and you don't know what type of setup that Cypher has, usually the best idea is to first fight for the A tower control and then decide what to do next. So whoever made this call out to fight for the ramp first and for the tower, muy bien call out. Also, really good smoke for the rafters to take the aim and control. I just have no idea what Yoru is doing and the rest of your team, and why are they playing so passively.
One HP will die.
Nice. One side.
I blame Jeep, I blame Jeep.
Okay, can we wait?
Now listen, 5v4 is not a true numbers advantage in Valorant. Especially when you're playing bonus rounds, eco rounds, and halberd rounds. You know, you can still send it in these type of rounds if you can get some close range kills and trade yourself a bit. For an example here, you have the info that enemy Breach is inside of the vents. You hurt him. You don't know if an enemy is here. I would actually use this smoke to engage the breach and try to trade myself for one more kill. Because winning this bonus round, 4v3, is around 20% easier than winning it 5v4. Because your teammates can take 2 Vandals from the dead enemies. Enemies have less utility to fight your teammates during the post-plants or to defend the initial executes. And trading numbers and trading yourself for the kills in these bonus rounds, eco rounds, halberd rounds is always worth it. As long as you don't have a true numbers advantage or a huge numbers advantage. You know, for example, you're 4v2, 4v1, 3v1. I would never play like a kamikaze. There's no reason to do that. Or if I'm a 5v3, fuck it, like, you know, just a basic refrag game with my teammates and that's it. But 5v4, you know, in bonus rounds, eco rounds, halberd rounds, if an enemy is already close to you, and you can maybe get a kill onto that enemy, it is okay to search for that kill again. So here, for example, we still have a nade and a boombot. We have a clove smoke right here. We can simply send the boombot straight forward to clear the enemies that are here and here. Send the nade with a bounce to push the breach into the vents. And we're engaging that breach and trying to get a kill.
Smoke it, we go heaven. Can you hold this cypher?
I can flash up. Yeah, I'm holding.
Yeah, thank you.
This was absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Like, a really solid round. Like, because we heard that that breach was somewhere close. And essentially, like, you didn't push alone. You pushed with your teammates. Like, absolutely fine. To be honest, like, what I really like about this round is that we didn't do a 5-man push onto the A site. Because that would have been an absolute Sudoku move. So, once again, whoever called this push onto the tower, props to that guy, essentially.
I can flash up. Nice. I think.
One enemy remaining.
Side last.
Nice.
Very good.
On Nico.
And I'm gonna go water.
The only problem that we have in this game right now is that you develop the, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G pattern of pushing. Like, for example, if I was this Cypher in the enemy team, in this round I would definitely play B side. And I would be heavily focused on defending the mid and B. Like in the first round you did a split on B, second round a full push on B side, third round the A side. Like, this pattern of pushing is very easy to read and very expectable, and something that players do in ranked solo queue enormous amount of times. And theoretically speaking, it should not work out. Like, why would I allow my team to lose against this stupid pattern? Like in this round here, for an example, if I was in the enemy team, let's say I was playing Vele or Breach, I don't know, like, I would simply leave my Cypher alone on the A site, and 4 of my teammates, I mean 4 of us, simply focus on defending this area of the map. But also in this round here, like, enemies are once again eco and halberd on defender side. They don't have the economy to buy good weapons. So doing a 5-man push on B or a 5-man push on A is definitely the best idea. And what I would have done in this example is definitely a 5-man push onto the A site.
Go.
Do you smell their panic?
3A.
Listen, like, I know that what he's holding right now with his crosser. You know, he's holding for a jump spot here. But if you have no idea how enemies are peeking or getting information in the B-main area of the map, don't hold the jump spot. Especially if you have automatic weapons. Like, just hold the regular position for the enemy's jiggle peek and a dead zone peek. Like this. Like, hold the jump spots only when you notice that enemies are doing it, when you know that they're doing it. If you have the operator, it is very easy to micro-correct yourself here. You know, even if the enemy peeks here, you can just do this, delete that enemy. But with a Vandal, if I have no idea if the enemies are jump spotting this, I would just hold this in a regular way and wait to see if the enemies are gonna peek and how they're gonna peek. And then when you gather information, like just you know, place your crosshair based on what you saw from the enemy team. Here, Shadow, do you still sorry? Do you still think KO is the worst agent for ranked with the buffs? I never said that KO is the worst agent. You know, the worst agent. The worst agent in Valorant is by far Harbor. Like Harbor is like I don't know, man. I really don't know what Valorant needs to do to make that agent good. When it comes to like when it comes to KO is not bad. You know, like for example, KO, Viper, and Ashra, all three of these agents are like approximately, I don't know, like D tier, you know, a tier above Harbor. But all three of these agents are good in pro play and in the high-low lobbies. The problem of the KO is that if you play KO below Immortal 3, like, who are you supporting? You know? It's a support character. Like, if you're playing solo queue, how do you know that KO, that basically your Jet is gonna play off your flashes, that your Raze is gonna go in, that your teammates are gonna capitalize on that utility? Yor got 2 nerfs. They suddenly nerfed his clone. How? His clone now goes around the corner super slowly. Yeah. Why Harbor, not Viper? She can even pick and redeploy. Well, Harbor utility user is very, you know, like, at least with the Viper, when you place her utility, you can reuse it. You know, you have a default wall, default poison cloud, like, it's good. Plus Molotov. Harbor, brother, like, you use a wall, if your teammates go in, they go in. If your teammate, you know, Harbor is like literally the worst shit in the game. Maxo Games. What he said. Why are you so ugly? No here. When I was fucking your mother, like, she said otherwise, brother. Let's see if our guy is actually... Oh, he's actually a streamer. It's a rage bait kit, you know, like... Unlike... Would you recommend Jet or Omen more? I would recommend... Flat, thank you for the Prime Game sub. Oh, I cannot have that in a video. Sorry, man. Would you recommend Jet or Omen? Like, depends on your playstyle, you know? Like, for example, Omen is like... Omen is generally better for players' fast development and improvement in Valorant. Omen makes you focus on everything and has higher levels of versatility than Jet. 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps, paranoia, ultimate, like, I mean... Better for general, you know, majority of players. But Jet is still like fucking S tier as well. Like Omen, Jet, and Raze, like, who should you play? Really depends on your strengths and weaknesses as a solo queue player. You should test all 3 of these agents and just see who works better for you. For most players, the Omen is gonna work better. if you play him in a way that I'm teaching players to play Omen. You know, you don't want to play Omen as a support. Just do the smokes, do the paranoia, and sit, you know, back. You want to play aggressive, passive, like it really depends. Like what type of teammates you have and enemies. Do you think Yoru is worth to learn from zero? And Diamond 1 Cypher main. In Diamond 1, you can start learning Yoru, to be honest. I mean, Yoru right now is S tier agent. It's been for a while. You know? So try him out for 50 hours and see for yourself. Like, he's probably the 4th best agent in Valorant to learn and main. To grind the rank solo queue. I like the fast-paced feel of Jett, and I have good aim, but I don't like to enter in ranks since you never get support. But to be honest, like with Jett, you have the, you know, like, safe executes, less safe executes. You can always adapt yourself. Where do you think I start to learn Yoru? First of all, on my Discord server, I've explained how to use every single Yoru's ability in the ranked playbook. I would recommend you that as a starting point. Then, second thing I would recommend you is to simply like watch. I mean, Exter right now is probably the best example of a Yoru player. He is not really playing Yoru as a VCT player. He is playing it like some kind of a hybrid, like pro play ranked playstyle. So, if I was to learn Yoru, I would literally only watch the Exter and try to copy paste some of his ideas. Okay, let's continue with this one. We're pushing B.
Okay, I
Antique
smoke
around.
We go 3, 2, 1, go.
Extend default 3, 2.
Listen, I've noticed this in the previous round as well. Like, brother, I mean, you cannot peek. You cannot peek this angle here in the way that you did. Like, you cannot drop a nade and just do this without clearing that angle, this off angle, this position. Like, you have no info. You have no idea where the fuck are enemies playing at this moment of time, right? Like how can you do this type of a peek? Like, fuck it, you know, your teammates want to go B. Okay, we're making footsteps. Jump spot this. Nice jump spot, Charlatan. Jump spot this angle first. Get the info. Don't reveal yourself too much. Do the nade that you want to do. Send it. And that's it. Like, why would you do something? How do you have confidence to do something like this? Like, no recon tools, nothing. No information. I mean, this type of small mistakes. If they don't kill you in this round, this type of bad habits will kill you in the future games. You know? Like, that is why, like, when you have some kind of a bad habit, and that bad habit doesn't punish you every single time, that doesn't mean that you should simply ignore it. Because this type of shit could have definitely killed you in this specific round. Who do you think is the best Yoru in the world? Jaw? Exter? Oxy? I mean, there's a lot of great players. I just personally prefer Exter because he plays Yoru in that ranked mentality way. You know? It's easier to learn from him rather than learning from someone else. His setups are very simple, very adaptive. Nothing is set in stone, you know? But all three of these, I mean, Joe is a insane player. But to be honest, like, you know, Joe can reach Radiant with, you know, if he plays Harbor, he can reach rank 1 with Harbor, essentially. You know? He is also mechanically crazy player. Did you see Ardis went bold? wait. Just a moment. I need to see that. Bold Ardis. Is it on Twitter? Is he alive on Twitch right now? No, I need to see that, bro. Like, I need to see that. Fucking Giga Chat, man. Fucking look at that. Look at that. That why did he go bold, bro? Like look at that, bro. I don't know if I can show the fucking VCT watch party just a second. Like, look at that Giga Chat, man. Perfect structure, man. Perfect. Like, right now, like, next act, Ardis is going to rank 1. Trust me, man. Like, trust me. Like, that is the structural integrity of a Valorant player. He looks like a thumb. I can, like, come on, chat, like, relax, bro. Relax. To be honest, he kinda, like, he kinda reminds me of the Team the Tatman, like when he's bold, right? He has that level of, yeah. Bold buff.
Take for somewhere.
I should.
Very good nade there. As I said, like, we can use that nade as a default nade, and we should be using this nade right here as a default nade when you have no idea what type of setup Cypher has. And like, if you don't have info whether or not enemies are playing that position. So, very good. Bro thinks he's dirty. Aerodynamic for... My guy turned from Honda Civic to Porsche.
You did? Okay, well played.
Fucking aerodynamics.
I plan
Strong
default.
mid.
I plan for the main. Cover me.
Random.
To be honest, it doesn't look that bad. Right?
2 mid. Waylay random.
Bro, if I went bold, like, if I went completely bold, brother... Leukemia charlatan, bro. Like literally, I would look like I have a stage 4 cancer, literally.
They could lurk. No, not Cypher.
Listen, during this, like, the starting of your rounds can obviously be a bit better. You know? Like, without any doubts. But where you kind of struggle is, like, these mid-round decisions. And once you take the control of some area of the map. That is where you need to focus a bit more on information that you have at that moment of time. Like, for example, our Yoru is playing super aggressively below the rafters. We're 4 versus 3. Enemies are eco halbay. Like, instead of you forcing another 50-50, why don't we figure out a way how we can actually support the Yoru and play with him? Like, during this, like, this is another mistake that I think is really a reason why you get fucked in some of these rounds. Like, for example, why would you fight for more space here? We already have a safe plant. We're 4 versus 3. We have everything that we need. Like, my main focus during this type of rounds would be this guy, right here. And I would be asking myself, how can I capitalize on this Yoru's aggression to take more kills? Or to simply use this Yoru to fight more enemies. 5,000 subs for foreskin review. How many subs for Bull Charlotte? Papito, to be honest, like, guys, you don't need to send any subs. Like, very, very soon, we're gonna go full on bold mode. 2-3 more years of Valorant. I'm gonna be wearing a hat during the streams 100%, like. Bombardiro crocodilo.
Two mid. Waylay right now.
They could lurk. No, no cypher.
Yeah, this guy's up.
One CT, two mid.
You see now in what type of problem you put yourself in. Only because of poor positioning in the mid rounds. Yoru died. We're 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3. Our Yoru died. Like, and you're forcing a 1v1 fight in the CT. Why? Is there a reason for this? Like, wouldn't it be easier for you to win this round by simply playing on the content of your teammates and baiting the shit out of them, instead of you forcing a 50-50 and relying on your Breach and Omen to take the kills? Plus, enemies have like shit team composition for this retake. Breach already used a stun. I think he doesn't have a stun for the next 10 seconds. Vela probably still has a teleport, but she only has a teleport. And Reyna maybe has a flash or something. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? And I think our Breach didn't use a single utility to take the beam in space. Only a stun. And maybe a flash.
Mine even.
1 HP. What? 1
Player
HP.
standing.
You are making your life harder, you know? For absolutely no reason. Like, that is how we can describe this specific round. You're fighting hard, and you're not fighting smart, essentially. Like, you need to realize that you need to play Valorant like you're working a 9-to-5 job. Because that is the only way to preserve your mentality in a long run and to not burn yourself out from playing this game. If you're always trying to be a playmaker, trying to get 30 kills during a game, trying to be a MVP, like, regardless of the outcome of the game, you're fighting hard, way too hard. Like, you have a specific tasks that you want to complete during every single round and every single match. One of those is making numbers advantage on the attacker's side, taking the bomb site control, planting the spike. If you already completed your main priorities on the attack, I'm like, okay, my 9-to-5 job is finished. Now, go my minions, you take the fights. We just choose some really good position from which we can support our teammates. You know, if our Yoru is below the enemies right here, we can just watch the CT from this spot and be ready to refrag our Yoru at any moment of time. One of our teammates watches the B main, maybe that Breach, and Omen can simply chill with us around this cover, or maybe he can play at the backside. With this setup, round is over. We're all playing on some kind of a refrag potential. None of us have to commit to the fight except the Yoru that is mega aggressive, and we need to use that guy. And we need to play the rest of this round like a passive. I need to piss, bro. Oh man, that was like a really long one. Okay, so for an example, this is one of the topics that you should focus on a lot more in the future games. Like, and this is one of the reasons why, you know, this act, your performance maybe dropped a bit. Because when we did our coaching session, your knowledge, you know, everything that I shared with you was probably really fresh, you know, really, it was easy for you to remember every single tip, every single trick, every single rule, but you need to refresh your memory a bit more. Because this was horrible round.
Reyna.
Now we're relying on this Omen to clutch this round for us. We even have a plant. Perfect plant. For the B main area of the map. Like in this round, at the end of the day, what we could have simply done, because we were 4v3 in an anti-eco round, reset the round. Go into the B main. No one gives a fuck about Yoru. And for the B main, we just win the round with the rest of our team. Instead of relying on our Omen to clutch this round for us. Bombardiro Crocodilo. To be honest, I like this change of pace. You know, like that they made a cut in terms of the pattern of pushing. You know, pushing the B side right now, again, why not? Even though the last round, enemy Cypher played on B, and he has been playing B for the last, like, 2-3 rounds, we have a Yoru ultimate, we have a Raze ultimate. Doing a B-man push in this round would be far more unexpectable than pushing A side. Or taking mid. The only thing here is, like, it's kind of stupid to have a teammate lurking, you know, somewhere, if you already have two such a strong ultimates. I mean, for you to win this round, we just need to do a proper 5-man execute somewhere. We have a Yoru ultimate as a pressure making tool, and as a recon tool. We have your ultimate, which will guarantee us at least one kill. Why the fuck our Cypher needs to, you know, lurk through the A-main area of the map? What, you know, what's the point of that? Just waste of, you know, waste of a potential in this round to win this round in an easy way. Like, Raze ultimate, your ultimate. 5-man push somewhere. Whatever you think it is easier for you to execute and to take the control of.
Nothing on the right.
Nice on you.
11.
High blind.
City.
Stun city.
Good.
Nice, very good. Are you plan for the main again?
This overextension was totally fine. I mean, the guy has the ultimate. Like, in the worst case scenario here, you will trade yourself for the kill. So this was totally fine. The only thing, you know, that you need to pay attention on when you're playing against the enemy sentinels is where they're putting their utility. Because if you're already destroying their utility with a nade, you need to know where the fuck is that utility. For an example, like,
Nice on you.
11.
if you kill the enemy Cypher on some bomb site, like, try to see on the map, like, where he put his tripwires in that specific round, so that you're not always putting the nade in the same place, and in the place where maybe enemy Cypher doesn't even has, like, his nade at that moment of time. You know, Bang Time helps you, man.
High blind.
City.
Stun city.
Good.
Nice, very good. Are you plan for the main again?
Solid.
City 1, 2 more.
City, yeah.
What did I just watch, bro? The worst Waylay dash of 2025.
He's getting city again.
Very good repositioning. This round, we're doing it good. Boombo to pressure enemies in CT so we can reposition fast. Very nice. It was a bit dangerous, obviously we have 11 HP, enemies can spam us through the smoke. But remember one very important rule in Valorant. It is always better for you to die in the process of repositioning rather than dying on a position that is bad for you. So it is literally always better to die in the process of good repositioning.
One even.
I hold Evan. Careful there. I'm full flash.
After. On top of me.
Right.
One enemy remaining.
CT last.
CT last was.
Okay.
Team
Well,
Ok.
Mets ton stun au début. Je vais hold up, attends.
Now they're changing the pace again. Listen, man. Like, you really need to develop that, like, put yourself more in the shoes of the enemy players. Like, we've been stomping the enemies on the B side. Whenever you're so dominant on one side, and when you put so much mental pressure on, like, out of the last 5 rounds, we won 4 rounds on B. You should have, like, a small change of pacing in order to be more unpredictable and to have higher chances of winning the future rounds. Like, for an example here, doing a fake on B and going A would be perfect. Four times we got B side. Cypher played B side the last 3 rounds. First of all, why would we default? You know, like, whenever you notice that your 5-man executes are working, 4 or 5-man executes, it doesn't matter. And you don't need to default. You don't need to fight for the map control. Thanks God. Thanks God that enemies don't have a response to our executes. And you should be abusing that playstyle for the rest of the match. As long as it works for you. Like, I really don't understand, like, why would I default here? Enemies don't know how to hold B site. Probably they're equally bad on A site as well. They don't have the agents to properly take the space, except the Breach and Cypher, and to hold the positions. Breach is always playing mid, in the vents. Cypher is B player for the last 3 rounds. You need to take this, to gather this information as you're playing the rounds in Valorant, so that you can make better game decisions once you reach in the middle of the match, in the middle of the half, or at the end of the half.
Nothing earlier. Rainer, right?
can you stun heaven? Stun heaven.
Listen. I'm so sorry, guys. Whenever you're defaulting in Valorant, so let's talk about defaulting on split. Let's say, for an example, you play a 1-3-1 default on split. Your team gets a kill somewhere. It doesn't matter if it is mid, if it is A main, if it is B main. What do? Reset the round completely. We made all of the advantage that we need. We put enormous amount of pressure onto the enemies right here, which is gonna force the enemies to make some kind of a move. Either to rotate towards mid a bit more and put more focus here, or they will try to fight us somewhere, or stack certain site. So, if you already take a kill on mid during your default place, that's it. Job done. We have a Cypher that is lurking and flanking. All we need right now is simply to reset the round towards the B main or towards the A main area of the map, and together as 5 or together as 4, execute something. Like, there's no reason to search for more space or to search for more kills, because our job is done. Like, this is perfect. Enormous amount of pressure on mid. Enemies don't have the info what the fuck is happening here. They're gonna position at least 2 players guarding this area of the map. We don't need to complicate this round anymore. Especially if you're moving through mid only with 2 players. As soon as your team is find a kill somewhere, reset the round. Because taking the mid control and pushing on B tower or through the vents only with 2 players, when there's 5 of you guys alive, it's a bit of a suicide. You know, it is really hard to hold all of these choke points and all of these, like, angles, and to think about all of these timings that enemies can use to fuck you up. As you're taking the B tower, you know, like, one enemy can peek behind you. There's only 2 of you guys here. You know, we need to force the fights in the tower. And that timing, enemies can use to backstab us and fuck us up. In order to disallow enemies to use that timing, simply reset the round. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds to end up somewhere. Fight smart, fight together, reset the rounds, and win them in the easiest way possible.
Ils don't have vidéo, ils don't have vidéo.
Also, we have another problem in this round. Enemies are, once again, eco/halby. Bro, I have no idea if someone is playing with a shotgun here. If someone is playing with a shotgun on tower. Like, why would I risk fighting in these close range corridors when I can simply just do a regular execute where enemies have less chances of taking these close range kills with the eco weapons?
Wait, I can flash if you want. I flash deep.
One working then. Teach you.
That could have been prevented. You know, there was no reason for that Yoru to die there. And you should be expecting this type of plays when you're playing eco and halby rounds on a attacker side of split. Like Stinger, Baki, Judge, Shorty, all of these weapons are mega powerful on this map. And if you already get a kill during a default somewhere, during these anti-eco rounds, just reset the round. Get the fuck away from mid. Regroup your teammates towards B main or A main and just do a regular ass execute.
Nice, one vents. I'm going behind him.
Je tombe backside, je tombe backside.
Il y a un trap. C'est là.
2 traps. Default.
Didn't you hear that guy?
One working then. Teach you. Nice, one vents. I'm going behind
No, he didn't hear the guy.
Je tombe backside, je tombe backside.
I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, basically when you're taking the mid control and when you want to push on tower, you cannot have like 2 people working up mid. That's a suicide, essentially. Like you consistently need to have one guy watching for the Wentz push while the rest of the team is fighting here. And if you are that guy, you're just moving as your teammates are moving. You know, we're holding this, your teammates are fighting tower, you're instantly getting behind the cover, taking the space, moving out. If your teammates are fighting here and they're not they cannot take this space, fuck you know, like, we need to hold the vents if you don't have the info there. Generally speaking, like, whenever you want to fight for the tower control and for the mid control, you need to have minimum 3 players on mid. In the most optimal scenario, we should have 4 players mid and 1 player on the opposite part of the map, depending what we want to split. Do we want to split A, you know, or we want to split B? But doing a 2-man push on mid, like, these type of timings will fuck you up a lot of the times. But also, as I said, like in this round, based on the enemy's economy, there was really no apparent reason to do this default play and to work the map so much. Enemies are horrible, their defense is horrible. Just like abuse the economy advantage and abuse the 5-man playstyle to win these rounds.
2 traps. Default.
And also, like, listen, like, on the attacker side, the number 1 teammate that you want to micromanage are your controllers. Like, good and bad smoke will impact the outcome of your rounds a lot. Number 2 teammates that you want to micromanage are your initiators, if you need some very specific utility to support you. And number 3, your sentinels. Like, basically, sentinels, especially in these higher elo lobbies, will lurk and flank a lot. I mean, in every elo. Like, when you have Cypher in team, very rarely that Cypher will play with your team. It is okay to let a Cypher roam in some of the rounds, but that cannot be his default playstyle that he is doing every fucking round. Like, when enemies have such a poor economy on a defender's side, there's no reason to do this type of flanks and lurks and to give enemies solo fights. Why would you do that? Just tell that Cypher, brother, can you play mid with us? You know, put the tripwire here. Let's take the B tower control. Let's pinch the enemies from tower together. Like, you need to simplify your rounds a bit more and pay more attention to what the fuck your teammates are doing on macro and micro level. based on your economy, enemy's economy, your playstyle, enemy's playstyle, and what is working for you in that specific match.
We are taking mid.
Cypher is on. If we spot Cypher on beach, we can just regroup on A and execute.
Oh,
Yeah.
the thick French accent.
Jump them. Cutting through.
Did you go pick first?
Nothing out of the A.
I smoke mail.
They'll come on A.
What is Blood doing?
Does a lot better, you know, like 1-3-1 default. It's okay, we can try it in this round. Why not?
Spike down mid.
We can Cypher ult.
Yeah, I'm gonna come mute side top now. Nice one.
But once again, this is very similar scenario. Exactly the same. So what happened, like, whenever you're doing this type of default plays. So right now, we played 1-3-1 default. We got 2 kills on mid. Enemies killed one of our teammates. We are right now 4 versus 3. What do? Completely reset the round. Like, the more time we spend here, without the main area of the map control, the more chances enemies have to fuck us up on timing with different type of peaks and different angles that maybe your teammates are not gonna clear. So in these type of rounds, hey guys, let's go back A main. Hey guys, let's go back B main. Let's execute B site or A site like the round has just begun. And you will have at least 30% higher chances of winning that round than if right now we go through the vents on A, or I don't know, like we scatter on the map and allow our teammates to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
One on A. Oh. 2A.
Even here, same shit. 3 versus 3. Like, no reason to complicate the round. 3 players towards the B main, 3 players towards the A main, and we have the absolutely highest chances of winning this round. Why? Because there is no fucking way that enemies are gonna have 3 players stacking B site or 3 players stacking A site. Like, no matter what we push right now, we're still in some kind of a numbers advantage. Most of the times, you will only encounter one enemy playing on the site. Very rarely, when enemies end up 3v3, they're gonna play together. They're gonna still fight for the map control, which is absolutely stupid, of course.
Keep it back.
I'm ulting now.
I blind Reyna.
He's blind.
This shit's full blinded. Only one side.
Sat in default.
Wait, one side.
Indicate nice.
Yeah, solid.
CT, heaven probably.
Care where ult. I plan default.
Out.
No, this whole execute here was totally fine, to be honest. Like,
I blind
there's really nothing to shit about.
Reyna.
He's blind.
This shit's full blinded. Only one side.
Sat in default.
Wait, one side.
Here, even if he died against this Cypher, our Cypher is close. Cypher is gonna get that kill, that trade.
Indicate nice.
CT, heaven probably.
Care where ult. I plan default.
Just shooting this eye here was a bit unnecessary from this position. You know, you should only shoot the Reyna eyes if you have nowhere to hide, or if your teammates are taking that fight as well. Like, for example, here, like, there's no reason to shoot this eye from this position. You can just go at the backside, shoot the eye from the safe angle, and then fight together with the Omen and Cypher. But overall, like, from your side, the round was okay. I just feel it would be much easier if we played it a bit slower.
Out.
Down B.
Yo, Dr. Chill, we'll see, man.
Nothing out of the A.
One event leaving.
On screen tonight.
Cypher on B.
Ready. Time to jump. I'll handle this.
Wait. I can ult on Euro. I can ult on Euro ult if you want.
No, go side.
Hold on.
On spike.
We'll just do.
I mean, in this round, like, to be honest, not even Jesus Christ can support that Yoru.
I know exactly where.
And getting inside with the smoke was a complete suicide. To be honest, like, in this whole round, pushing the B site is a complete suicide. Like, generally speaking, when do you want to avoid ending up on B when you're playing split? When enemies have some hard AoE ultimates for retake. Because on B side, as I said, it's very easy to push the enemies back from the... Like, most of the times, like, what's gonna happen? Your teammates are only gonna play in this area of the map. Here. Brother, with Breach ultimate, with Waylay ultimate, like, pushing the enemies from, you know, these positions is simply the easiest job ever. Whenever you notice that enemies have like a Breach ultimate, Killjoy ultimate, I mean, Waylay ultimate, I don't know, like, Waylay is not that good, but, you know, you get a point. It is better for you to execute A site. Or try to end up on A site during that round. At the start of the round, you can maybe default, take the mid control, try to find some picks there, and then reset the round towards the A site. Or simply, immediately as the round starts, fight for the A tower control, and then from the A tower control decide what to do next. Because on the A side, like, you can take the ramp, you can play from A main, you can play from the site, you can play here, we can take the tower control, we can take the screens control. While when you're executing B site, if we don't have any mid pressure, taking the B tower control is a task. Also, getting stuck here is a bit of a problem when enemies have, you know, like a Breach in the team with a stun, with a flash, with an aftershock. It is very easy to pressure enemies back from this spot.
Wait, wait.
Oh no, go side.
Hold on.
Come on, spike, come on, spike.
What is 3?
I know exactly where.
And I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, getting into this smoke when like you're getting ulted by the Cypher. I don't know what was the play here. We needed to satchel at the backside or towards our Omen and use the Boombo to deny the enemies fast executes, fast push, like use the satchels to push the enemies back. That was the best way for you to play this this scenario. Like, whenever enemies are bombarding you with utility, like, and they have such a strong util for retakes, like, fuck it. I would have done this. Okay, I'm getting ulted by the Breach, no problem. I'll do the Boombot here. Use the satchel to push the enemies back while before the ultimate effect expires. And then we fight together with our teammates.
Easy will buy this.
This guy's just 1v5 on that team.
Yeah.
Oh, they stun. Somewhere
Never pick the mid area of the map in the way that you did.
here. I will.
Whenever you're pushing fast mid, so you're not playing on contact, always jump spot this angle. Or ask for some utility. Like, swinging this without any info where the enemies are playing here, 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 or here. Just a complete suicide. Enemy Waylay has money for Operator. She could have played up there. Easy kill.
Stun. Two there.
I'm holding your vent size.
Tell me when you bomb bot.
Bomb buddy out.
Cypher on B, you want to go?
Yeah, you can go.
Let's go.
Ooh, okay. I mean, this is the first unlucky round, to be honest. Like, there is nothing you can do here. But to be honest, you got traded, so it's fine.
Ghosting.
Your team should have killed that you know, Waylay. There's nothing to do about it.
You want screens?
I missed my smoke.
Am I missing something? I mean, you're one ultimate orb away. Why we didn't pick up the orb? I don't know. In this round, I would actually gamble it. Like, I would actually buy a heavy shield with a sheriff instead of a stinger, with all of the utility, and I would simply my main win condition in this round would be getting that ultimate and destroying whoever the fuck is on the side with ult. And I would gamble it a bit. Fuck it, like, you know, like, I would use my Yoru as a human shield, essentially, to pick up the orb. We have a Cypher cage for the ramp. That should be easy for us.
I missed my smoke.
Also, I don't understand here, like, why they didn't use any type of a nade. You know, like, if the idea is already to execute the A site super fast, throw a nades for something, like, especially if you're playing against the Cypher. You know, use some kind of an airstrike nade to pressure enemies back from these positions. Like, use the nade maybe to clear these early spots where the enemies can play. Use the take your time. You know, you don't need to rush it out. Like, use the boombot maybe for that position. Use the nade for that spot. Or what I really like to do when I'm executing A site is doing this type of a nade, so that enemies cannot peek us from the elbow and from the CT as we are taking the space from the aim and area of the map. And then simply, you know, we can get into this position, delete the enemies with the stinger on elbow, and then from the elbow pinch the enemies on the side together with our teammates. Usually with a movement type of agents, such as Raze, Omen, Jet, Melee, a bit better pathing into the A site is going from left to right, like this. Because as soon as you have the elbow control, and if the enemies are stuck on site, they're absolutely fucked. Like, enemies need to be some, you know, I mean, Tens needs to defend, you know, Aspas needs to be defending the A site to win these type of duels and to close out this round.
Elbow. Above.
You've done the best you could have, to be honest. Like, this is the life of a stinger. Like, yeah.
Oh no, let's just go start.
But I don't know, as I said, like, you know, if you're already one ultimate orb away from the Raze ultimate, slow down the round a bit, pick up the ultimate, and send it on the site. You're guaranteed at least a kill.
Right now. I can flash real quick.
You can flash? You want to go out?
Actually, this play from the enemy team was really nice. Like, this was really unexpected. Like, enemies completely changed the pace of the game. And, but this is something that you should definitely expect. Like, one thing that I didn't speak about at the start of this VOD review is, like, the more you're winning, another thing that you should always expect is that enemies will become more unpredictable. Like, they will either start fighting with each others, or they will start adapting to your place. So you should be, you know, like, usually when you win a lot of the rounds in a row, a really good idea to cut your playstyle a bit and repetition is by calling for a default or calling for some kind of a fake. Fakes are something that I don't see a lot of the players are doing in ranked solo queue, and I don't know why. Like, when you already destroy the enemy's mental health on one area of the map, you can fake that area of the map a lot of the times. Not a lot, but at least 2 times during a match.
Ready?
Go.
3, 2, 1.
Got him.
I'm stunned. Flash.
3.
3 there, no?
Yeah, Raze is vanishing, it's off the wood. Look
I'm
at
gonna
Cypher,
out
we will go mid.
Like,
I'll handle this.
1, 2. I stun on you. Stun.
we stunned pillar apart.
And once again, like, when you have these big ultimates in the game, like ultimates that are basically your main win condition, I really don't see a reason to have anyone that is lurking and flanking. Like, we are one ultimate orb away from the Yoru ultimate. We can pick it in A main or B main. We already have a Raze ultimate. Why the fuck we need anyone on mid or A main or taking more space? With those 2 ultimates, like, we should be able to take the space 9 out of 10 times. And to take the bomb site for free. 9 out of 10 times, especially in this high elo, essentially.
3.
Cypher right now.
Also, when you got stunned here, like, you lost too many health points for no reason, man. Like, I will never take this fight in my life. This was really stupid, like, from your side, and something that you should never do. Like, whenever you're much closer to the smoke than enemies, or you're much closer to some spammable wall, don't even consider. You know, I would never do this in my life. Like, if I got saturated here by the waylay shit, I would instantly use a satchel to go a bit back, and then I would maybe spam the smoke if I heard the enemy waylay dashing into my team. Or I would instantly pull the knife out, try to jump away a bit, and take a different angle. But staying here and doing this, I mean, that was like... You were asking to die at that moment, at that point.
You can flash. You want to go out?
Yeah, we ready?
Go, 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 go.
3, 2, 1. Here, no?
I'll handle this.
1, 2. I stand on.
Some pillow. Also. One screen, Cypher.
I don't know why we don't have 2 satchels in this round. Maybe we have, like, we just wasted it, probably.
I think we've results.
Last round before the switch.
Spend your money.
Yeah, we didn't buy a second satchel. I don't know, man, like here you know, we have the ultimate, like, we should not be making this type of a mistake in Immortal 3, you know.
Very last time, okay. One screen, Cypher.
Never peeking. He was. You want to peek him?
Okay, let me give you one tip. Whenever you see, at the start of the round, that one enemy, especially if it is a Cypher, if he is playing here, and you see one enemy on the ramp, or rafters, chances are 90% in this high elo that literally no one is on the site. So using your ultimate to take the site control is just a waste of the ultimate a bit. Because whenever you see that enemy Cypher is basically playing from the screens, like, he has this type of a setup where he has the tripwires here and here. And, you know, like, right now what's going to happen for you probably is, like, you do 2 satchels, get into the site, you're going to force yourself to use the ultimate here. You don't know if the Cypher is in the smoke, left or right. You're going to put yourself in a bad position. And yeah, the round can be interesting. I don't know, here I would have saved my ultimate completely, and I would simply use my nade to clear some of these Cypher trips and to move into the side with the rest of my team.
One screen, Cypher.
Never peeking. He was.
One thing that I would really recommend you, like, is to learn a few Raze lineups for the nade to counter the Cypher and Killjoy's utility. I personally don't have any. I mean, I don't remember any, to be honest. But there are some, like, really crazy lineups that allow you to essentially, you know, clear every single one of these positions where the Cypher can put the trips. If you're already playing fast, if you're not playing on contact, and if you want to deny the enemy's early utility. I think from this position here, there's also, like, one really good nade that can splatter and basically deny all of this space right here. Bam, bam, bam. So, those 2 nades are the only nades I would recommend you to find in a custom server and find some kind of a lineup for yourself. Everything else can be improvised. It is better if you're improvising and adapting yourself to different scenarios. But these 2 lineups, like, I'll show you these lineups later, like, at the end of the VOD review anyways.
You want to peek him?
Out of charges.
Now this is gonna be fucked up, especially because we don't have a second satchel, and Cypher 100% has some kind of a trips on the site. No way, we jumped across the trip, man. This is why I said, like, it's a waste of the ultimate. Like, in this high-low lobbies, I don't know, like this, like Immortal 2, Immortal 3. Like, if you see a Cypher here, and one enemy rafters and ramp, 90% of times, no one is playing on the A site. Plus, we know that in this match, whenever Cypher and Reyna were playing A site, they were the only players defending the site.
I'll be served.
2011.
He's out.
Oh my god.
Spike down.
I don't know, man. Like you heard the guy there. You should have talked to your teammates. I would have yelled here, basically. I would have been screaming, man. The Cypher is out.
Down A. I have the spike.
I blind city.
One
Blind,
behind.
one blind.
I can flash. Oh, no, I know.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, last even could be. Or still.
Okay. Now listen. Once again, 2v1. All we need to do is isolate the angles. Tell your Omen to teleport into the site and to play with you in the elbow. We don't need any map control anymore.
Stairs.
He's coming main.
You don't.
Pick on me. Pick on me.
Just line up.
Last.
But you even got a call out, man. Vayli doesn't know about your Omen. She doesn't know where the fuck he is. You have a really good refrag angle. I mean, even the best position here, in this scenario, like when your teammate is stuck here, and you know that enemies are coming through the ramp, he is basically playing here, on this spot. Because your teammate is gonna see that enemy and be the first contact anyways. Why did we peek and get dinged and then Omen took us all? Like, I don't know. Like, you need to fix these team play mistakes that you're making during this VOD. Like how you adapt your teammates on the attacker side as they're taking the space, as they're positioning themselves. Like, as I said, like in this VOD, you didn't lose that many rounds because of this positioning problem. But I can just imagine what the fuck is happening for you in the rest of the games. If this happened only in this VOD.
Player
No
standing.
HP.
And then, like, you know, like if you end up 1v1 and the spike is planted, your job is just to waste this waylay time from defusing the spike. You still have a nade. Yes, you have 45 HP. We don't need to force a fight anymore. Like,
Last player.
your Omen died here. You lost the timing to refrag him because you got dinged. Chill a bit now. Fuck it. Like, now you should just relax. You also see on the minimap that she's looking at you. Let her, you know, tap the spike, use the nade to pressure her from the spike, and maybe kill her while she's running away. Jump spot the waylay, try to. Make her push you, pull out the classic pistol, try to rely on a triple shot and nade to take this kill.
Players.
But just forcing this fight now, when your Omen already died, we lost a chance to play a refrag game. Just completely 50-50 fight that anyone can win.
No HP.
Okay, interesting. Overall, interesting gameplay. Okay, now we are moving on to defender side of Split with a Raze. So, TLDR, as always. A site, your default site, #1 priority. B site, #2 priority. This map is a fast rotation map in ranked solo queue. Essentially, most of the time, you don't give a crap about B site and A site control. Meaning that in the full buy rounds, most of the times you're not willing to die alone trying to defend the site. You prioritize the team play over the map control, and essentially the refrag game needs to be at an all-time high. Now, on this map, we prioritize the B tower and A tower control over the bomb site control. Essentially, whenever your teammates are fighting the enemies here, or enemies are splitting the B site or splitting the A site, most of the time, you want to control this and this area of the map. If enemies take tower, mid, and A tower for free, we're gonna have a really bad time. Really bad time. Because then enemies open up more opportunities to fuck us in the ass. And essentially, only God knows if your teammates are going to observe all of these opportunities, all of these openings essentially. And the final tip for this map is basically that on defender side, from the first full buy round, whenever enemies are full buy as well, we need to fight for the map control. We need to play semi-aggressive, essentially. Not the map control, just play semi-aggressive. We need to be gathering information in B main, mid and A main, and performing like a jump spot mechanic, dead zone peek to pressure the enemies, to see if they are there, so you can make the most optimal game decisions during that specific round. Like if you're just starting every round beyond this line, right here, we are fucked, essentially. We're selling too much map control for free, without any information, and playing split like that is a suicide. Especially because it is very easy to get the kills instead of these choke points to pressure the enemies back. And we can do that in various different ways. With utility, with specific guns, with specific type of peaks. Everything is covered in the rank playbook, which you already have, my friend. Now, actually this is the last tip. The first round, we always play on A site and gamble on A site. It is our default site on this map, and basically chances are much higher that enemies are going to do some A push in the first round. It doesn't matter. Like A site retake is much harder than a B site retake. And the second round, you always gamble on B tower and play B tower. Why? Because whenever enemies on the attacker side are eco, hull buy, force buy, or they're playing some kind of a low economy round, chances are 80% and above that they're going to push, or that your teammates are going to make the first contact with the enemies either here or here. And you need to support your teammates, and we cannot lose the B tower control. In the first round with Raze, you have multiple different options. You can play a classic pistol shorty strategy here. Tell one of your teammates to bait for you, and basically like we can also be baiting the enemies with a classic, destroying the enemies' recon abilities. When the enemies in the choke point, split them apart with a nade, shit on them, go back. You can play close with a classic light shield 2 satchels, and when the enemies are close, just make sure to split them apart with a nade. You can push them back with a satchel, try to get some kills together with your teammates from the elbow, tower, etc, etc. Option number 3, 4, whatever, like Ghost, 1 satchel, we can start passively on the tower, and basically play for both A tower and A main. Splitting the enemies apart with a nade, pressuring them back, fighting together with our teammates. We can buy the sheriff as well. It doesn't matter. Option number 5, 6. You can play classic pistol shorty right here with a light shield. Wait for the enemies to be close. Then with an nade we can pressure them, maybe get more kills, go back. It really depends. What is your personal preference? As long as you play A site, you're not gonna make any significant mistake. And don't commit yourself too much to the fights in the first round. Like, make sure that you stay alive for the retake. Your job is just to get 1 kill, make a small numbers advantage, and then play the retake with your teammates. But if your teammates are fighting aggressively, obviously play with them and support them. As I can see here, like, our friend went with a sheriff in the first round. Sure, you can do that, but, you know, the map is very claustrophobic. Usually the best option with Raze is, like, classic light shield 2 satchels and nade, because it's very easy to close the gap. If your teammates are getting pushed on B, a lot of times your teammates are going to die on B tower, close to the CT. You can pick up the Ghost, be a juggernaut in that round with a Ghost and light shield. It's really up to you.
Time.
Dash.
Enemy
Nice.
Here.
Job done! Basically, job done. Like, from this moment on, I'm like, my mentality is like, teammates, I've done everything. Now it is time for you to shine. And I'm playing a baiting and trading game with my allies. Waiting for the contact between enemies and Yoru, enemies and Breach. Doing a nade to pressure the enemies and split them apart. And basically to peek out at the perfect moment of time.
Tell me when I stun Raze.
Also, please ask for the utility from your teammates. like if the enemies are pushing through the ramp, like controlling your controllers is very important and telling them what to do. Like if enemies are already pushing onto the ramp, tell your Omen to give you this smoke. Then when the enemies are coming out with this smoke, you can just do a nade to pressure them, pick them out, take more kills. But here, even though A tower control is important, remember that team play is everything on this map. You made a small numbers advantage. You don't need to fight anymore. It's okay, you don't need to peek out, you can stay here, drop down, play with your breach, and with the breach and your Omen and the rest of the team, let's retake the A tower control. Regain it.
They're going heaven, they're going heaven. You can stun for Raze 7.
You want stun, Evan?
Staying here is mega dangerous. Like, much better idea would have been that you just drop down if you already don't have a smoke for the ramp. And simply regroup with your breach. And with the breach and Cypher, we retake the A tower control. I mean, we still have a nade. We can pressure the enemies a lot. Omen still has one smoke left. Like, there's no reason to stay so open. Right now, this smoke is expiring. Smoke in the Amen is expiring. No one is holding Amen for you. We're cooked.
One went. So one here in corner, I guess.
Basically, you can never play on the rafters here, like, if you're exposed from both tower and from the Amen as well. Like, now, you can actually stay here because the breach actually rotated. But your crosshair should be towards the Amen area of the map. Only God knows if maybe Cypher is here or one enemy, like, I don't know. Like, you're not Nostradamus. We should have been aware of this as an Immortal 3 player. Like, we cannot play like this. Like, you cannot get stuck on the same position from which you already got a kill and disrespect the rules of the map that you're playing. You cannot do that, essentially. It's you know, like, these type of mistakes, especially in the first round, are gonna cost you a lot. Like, the most important rounds in Valorant are the first rounds, anti-eco rounds, eco rounds, and semi-buy rounds. These are the rounds where we build our economy, damage the enemy's economy, where mentality is going to be impacted, and the snowball is going to begin.
No.
I don't know if you recorded your communications or not in this VOD, I forgot. But, brother, like, you know, as I said, if enemies are pushing onto ramp, and you're playing tower or rafters, you need to yell at your controller. Omen, can you smoke the A tower? Like, can you? Like, this smoke was so crucial in this round. Once again, the #1 teammates that you need to micromanage in ranked solo queue are your controllers. Like, smokes are so important in this map to deny the information, to play around them, to isolate the enemies in the fights. Like, you cannot stay on the rafters overexposed without a smoke for this or this. Now listen, in a second round, you usually want to gamble on the B tower, but if you already, you know, like, basically, you know, if you win the first round, simply buy a Stinger, Heavy Shield, Utility, bait the enemies with a classic pistol. When they're close, we can split them apart, mow them down with a Stinger, do various different outplays. You can also buy a Judge. Once again, bait them with a classic pistol. Make sure you have the satchels to close the gap if the enemies are pushing B or you need to rotate onto A site. You can buy the Outlaw as well with a Light Shield, Regen Shield, Heavy Shield, depends how much money you have. Buy the Utility, lock down the mid. All of these options are fine. If you lose the first round, most of the times you want to play with a classic shorty and one satchel right here. With a classic, you're destroying the enemy's recon abilities and baiting the enemies. When the enemies are close, we're playing kamikaze gameplay and we're trying to trade ourselves for as many kills as possible. Now, in this specific match, I mean, you already have 3 teammates on mid, so it's okay that you didn't start on mid. I mean, if you already have 3 allies here, we don't need to overstack that position that much in this second round. So it's fine what you decide to do. But to be honest, like, if I played on the A set right now, like, based on what the enemies did in the first round, I would 100% do a classic pistol shorty strategy here. And with the shorty, try to punish this Valet. Like Valet, in the first round, went for a suicide. Bam, bam. Dash. Without the stun, without anything. That's the only information that we have. Let's try to make something out of it. With a shorty, that is an easy kill. It is a gamble whether or not Breach is gonna stun now or not. But I'm willing to take that gamble because it's a second eco round. Who cares? We're testing the enemies, trying to see what works, what doesn't work. Match is close anyways, we have a lot of room to make the mistakes. And to experiment.
Minor main, breach, stunned, where they dashed.
Well, they dash under.
Yeah. Keep it up.
This is a mistake here, like, right now you should have stayed instead of this smoke and try to see what enemies are gonna do. I would have played this round same as you played it in the first round, to be honest.
Where they dashed.
Now, I will stay in this spot with this sheriff and wait to see what enemies are doing. If enemies are pushing through ramp, okay, like we can just pressure them with this nade and they go for a peek. Maybe one enemy is gonna be here in an unfavorable fight. Bam, easy kill. Enemies go back, okay, never mind. Like most of the times, like when enemies are executing together as 5, A site, they're gonna give you a smoke here. And a lot of times it is a bad smoke. Like basically players always do this type of a shit. Like this is the worst smoke you can have on A tower. Because I can play here, peek you from this angle, I can peek from this angle, from this. It's just stupid. Like stupid smoke. Especially if you're doing a 5-man push through A. Like I would have just stayed here, relax, listen to the sound, and decide what to do next. Enemies are pushing through A main, great. Let's play them with a nade, and let's try to capitalize on at least one kill. In these rounds, you should be playing a bit more as a kamikaze. You know? It is also totally fine to start the round with a classic shorty here and one satchel. Like, 99% of times, you're gonna have a smoke here. Bait the enemies with a classic. Ba 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 ba. Wait for the smoke. Enemies smoke you off. They're in the choke point. 1-2 kills. If you get even 1 kill, that's great. Amazing. We're building the ultimate, damaging the enemy's economy. And our teammate on the site has a bit higher chances of surviving and maybe doing something about it. Maybe we stop the enemy's push. Maybe they get scared, essentially, because of this play. You never know.
Dash under.
Yeah. Keep it up.
I stand for them.
I saw me, I don't think they
I stand.
ramped. 2 ramps.
1, 2, 3.
One right side, one left side. One's right behind the box. Crossing.
He crossed left. Two left. Hold with me.
Here.
He's gonna.
Lurk. He's lurking.
Our Omen has a judge. What the hell?
They'll go B now.
Mid.
Solid? I mean, okay round. I just think that you could have played like your starting plan. I mean, you didn't have any plan. That's the problem. Like essentially, if you play this round at the beginning in the way that I would have played it, maybe we could have found like a few kills here. You know, with a nade, peeking together with our teammates, or peeking alone. It's okay. I mean, like it's an eco round, anyways. Now we know that Cypher likes to lurk, and we know that in the next round, chances are really low that enemies are gonna push the A site. Holy shit, man! I just pulled out my whole microphone, man, from the stand. Ay. Okay, so now in this third round, just a second. What the hell did I just do? Is the sound okay? Ay. So basically, now in this third round, I would simply use the rule of 3 executes to position myself. Like in ranked solo queue, very rarely enemies are gonna execute the same site 3 times in a row, especially early on. I will start on the B tower, defending the B site, tower, and mid together with my teammates. Another reason why I will start on B tower, because enemies are playing a bonus round. And as we said, whenever enemies are bonus, we want to start somewhere, here, essentially. And predicting that enemies are gonna do some kind of a mid-push or mid-contact with our teammates. Listen, especially, like, if you're not abusing some very, very specific setup. My stream almost died. So if you're not abusing some very, very, very specific setup on the B side of split, maybe a double tower here, some baiting setup for this position, don't start on B. There's no reason to. Absolutely no reason. Like, you and Breach holding this same angle, you're useless. You and your Breach are useless. Like, if you already have one teammate on tower and one teammate passively defending B set, instead of you passively defending the B set and wasting your time, you should start on the tower. On the tower, you can just delay the enemy's push, connect with your teammate, like, it doesn't matter. But in this round, what happens on mid is going to be far more important than what happens in this area of the map. Your Breach can live a happy life. He has a stun, 2 flashes, aftershock, like, he can delay the enemies a bit. In the worst case scenario. But what Yoru and Omen are gonna do, I have no idea. I simply have absolutely no idea. Buy option is fine because, with Raze in this third round, you can also go with a Judge, Heavy Shield, 2 Satchels and a Boombot. If you already forced a Sheriff in a second round. But going with a Vandal, Light Shield and 2 Satchels, I mean, it's fine. Just it'll be easier for you to win this round with a Judge. Judge on this map is, like, with Raze, I mean, really good. I mean, winning any movement agent.
The smoke mail. Going vents, dash vents.
Stand there.
Oh.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, that is why this round we should have started either in the vents or on the B tower. So we can do something about this. I don't know, peek out. Throw a nade to delay the enemy's push. We could have done something, probably, if we were there. Instead of letting our Yoru die alone like this.
Just runs in 18 way.
In these anti-bonus, anti-eco, anti-force rounds, what happens on mid and B tower is far more important than what happens in A main or B main, essentially. If you lose the mid control, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen.
Vents flash, they're still mid.
And
This angle holding is fine. It's okay. We can do this. Yeah, fine.
Leave more, leave more.
I don't understand this game decision. Like, why did you decide to go from the back side towards the back, towards this box position instead of staying on the site? I mean, like, yes, there is a chance that enemy Breach is gonna stun us, but enemies don't have dive agents anymore. We heard that the Valet used the dash to take the kill on the Yoru in the vents. Even if the Breach stuns us, simply from this position, we can bounce the nade like this, throw a satchel, do something, delay the enemies a bit, and split them apart. Your teammates from tower might capitalize on that. Like, personally, only because enemies don't have any dive utility, I would have stayed here and risk a Breach stun. It's okay, I can eat it. It's fine. If he doesn't stun me, I can try to split the enemies, pressure them, maybe go for some jiggle peek. Maybe, as the enemies are here, we split them apart. Now one enemy is gonna peek you here. He's gonna be pressured. You can satchel him, pull him up in the air, take an easy kill. Now we go backside.
J'ai pas d'arme moi, j'ai pas d'arme, leave moi.
And even worse, he actually stunned this position. Listen, man. If you're stuck like this, and enemies are moving in, if you're playing Raze, you need to deny the enemy's peek from at least one of these positions. And basically, whenever you're stuck behind some kind of a cover like this with Raze, where enemies can engage you from 2 different angles, and your teammates are not ready to support you. Satchel, nade, boombot. We need to deny the enemy's peek from at least one of these angles, so we can gamble on the opposite angle. Like, this gamble that you took here was way too risky, because Breach was not really there to support you. He was smoked off. Enemies could have pushed you from the front side, from this left position as well. You too much of a gamble for your crosshair placement and for your life as well.
Spike plant.
That satchel there is actually good.
Wonderful kill.
Hold there.
Peeking high.
Last player standing.
It's okay. We could have had a better level of team play at the end. You know, usually when your teammates are going up from the rafters, you really want to fight on the right side and avoid the left side, because most of the times, like, your teammates are gonna do simply some kind of a shit like this, being fully overexposed and taking this fight. And when you're behind the side here, you want to be ready to support this guy. If he dies from the left side, it doesn't matter, because there's a higher level of danger that he's gonna die from the right side, if the enemy's already planted the spike on a default position. Anyways, like, what Omen did is horrible. Like, whenever you're retaking the B set of split, you never want to pick the enemies from the rafters. Never. Very rarely. If you need to support your teammates fast. But most of the times you want to drop down, and from this location, we're fighting together and isolating angles one at a time. Now, from your side, the only better thing you could have done is, like, we could have delayed the enemy's push, essentially, with an aid, with the satchels, maybe capitalize on some kills in the choke points, instead of giving the bomb set to the enemies when we have the numbers disadvantage. Like, these are the moments of times where it's fine for you to maybe fight for a kill. Like, you lose the numbers, you are at the back foot, then, you know, like, especially with the Raze, like, Raze is a master of chaos. Like, enemies are pushing through the choke point, nade, satchels, boombot. They start panicking around, scattering into 2 groups, isolate them into fights, and take easy kills. Okay, thankfully, our Cypher is a clutch minister.
So
Now, in this 4th round, only God can tell us what our enemy is gonna do. But when you need to ask the God on split what you should play, the God whispers to you, play on A tower if the enemies are full buy. Play on A tower if the enemies are full buy. Defend the A site if the enemies are full buy. Or at least start in the vent so you can play fast rotations. And you listen, you know. Now, starting this passively, when you have the full setup of the A setup that your Cypher has. So, site with your teammate on site, or teammate on A tower. Play with your teammate on A tower. Microphone disconnected. What the fuck? Is it working now? Nah, man, like...
Yeah.
Cam open, no steps.
Also, listen, like, whenever you're playing, whenever you're playing against the Cypher in the enemy team, if you're already starting on a passive position like this, we should always pre-fire that spot. Like against the Cypher on split, you should be pre-firing this angle 24/7. Especially if you want to go for some aggressive peek, such as this one. You need to tell one of your teammates to destroy that camera. Actually, it is better that you didn't hear what I was whispering in my microphone. It was a stupid joke, so like, it's better for you that I was just saying that whenever you need to gamble, you know, where you should play on split, you should gamble towards the A tower and A site if you already have no idea where the enemies are going to go, and they're playing a full buy round.
Nothing mid. Really?
This is something you cannot control in ranked solo queue. You know, like Cypher killing 2 of your teammates on mid. It's, you know, it's Valorant. Like, 60% of rounds are within your control. 40% of rounds gone. But we can still try to win this. Like, basically right now, you know, since our whole team died on mid and on the B site, we need to rotate towards the B tower. Or we should try to deal with this Waylay in A main and maybe get some kills. Each of these options is fine.
I know exactly where you are.
So they're holding main, not going outside.
They were just gonna be.
Cypher mid, yeah, they will go B.
He's gonna run up male.
This is one of these rounds where, as I said, like, there's really, theoretically speaking, nothing better you could have done. You know, it's Valorant, it's a FPS game, 5v5.
Right now.
But we could have won the first round and second round, for an example.
I'm trying to wrap the guys mid.
Please, one small tip in terms of positioning and movement. If you already clear this spot and you're moving through the stairs, place your crosshair here for a brief moment of time. A lot of players, especially high elo players, love to jiggle pick this angle like this. And they're trying to catch you exactly as you're doing some kind of a shit like this.
Last player standing.
Okay. Next round. It is what it is. We predicted what enemies are gonna do. They actually wanted to push A. We know the Cypher is lurking mid, like, I mean, I cannot deal with the Cypher and defend the A site. I'm not playing 5 characters at the same moment of time. It is what it is. But a semi-mistake that we made in this round is actually, no, actually they were half by bonus, like, whatever. Okay, now what should we do in this round? In this round, I will start actually in vents. The reason for that is simply to play a fast rotations between A site and B site. I have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, and with movement agents such as Raze and Omen and Jet, you're never really stuck in the vents. You can always get out of the enemy smoke and try to connect with your teammates on the tower if enemies are actually pushing on tower. So what type of setup I would use in this round is simply classic and shorty here and trying to capitalize on 1 kill. Why would I play classic and shorty here? Because in one of the previous rounds, we've noticed that enemy Waylay actually likes to double dash into the vents. Let's see if she do it again and how she does it. So we have a better information for the future rounds, like how should we play around it. And also because I have no fucking idea where the enemies are gonna go, I want to be able to rotate fast on B and A in the same time. Listen, when you're holding this angle, just hold it, like, hide your body a bit more. You know, really, you almost don't want to see this wall. So you want to be ready to go for a 1 tap, and then get the fuck out. And then we can pressure the enemies with a nade, maybe go for a second pick, etc, etc.
Nice. You're solo. I can hold that body.
Maybe close heaven, I don't know.
No, but Raze is seeing cross, right?
Mid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm behind them.
Me too.
Attrape, je te laisse TP.
J'ai pas d'arme, frérot.
Spike pla-
Now, using the ultimate in this round is absolutely valid. 5v4, even though it's an equal round, you can get a free kill. It's 5v3. Great. Now, this nade that you did here, I don't know about this, man.
He's close. CT close.
T'attrapes.
I mean, the thing is, like, you have the ultimate. Like, your main idea in this round should have been to use the ultimate to kill the enemies. And if that is already our idea, like, it is better if we throw this nade to clear some of the further spots that we cannot get with our ultimate. For an example, I don't know, throwing a nade for the back box here. I mean, you can just chuck it over the box and bam, dunk it on the enemies. Or we can throw the nade for the backside to simply pressure the enemies there. Or maybe get onto this angle, throw it for the site. And now we use the ultimate. This is clear. One of the angles for which we dropped the nade is also cleared. Now we can just focus on the enemies on rafters, push them back. In the worst case scenario, you're good for 1 kill. Your teammates are 4v3, and we can easily win. I mean, they can easily win this round. Not really easily, but they have higher chances of winning this round.
You hear me?
I blind?
Ooh, yeah. Aim for the legs, you know.
And
I mean,
Backside.
that should have been a kill, like, if we aimed for the legs, like, we dealt 0 damage to that glove.
CT backside.
Last player standing.
Okay. Very good. Very good what he is doing right now. As I said, from the first round, where both you and the enemies are full buy, we need to play this map semi-aggressively. Like, we need to be fighting for the information in A main, B main, and in the mid area of the map, and potentially trying to get a first pick. Let's see how he does it. He's just gonna jump spot.
Or camera in a flash.
Okay, that can work, I guess.
Wait, they dash ramp.
Now, in such high lobbies, you know, Immortal 3+, you need to track what enemies are doing. Like, enemy Cypher lurked this whole match. I would be expecting this guy on mid, again. And I would maybe even take my time to potentially kill him on mid. I have 4 teammates on A set with a full Cypher setup. In this elo, there needs to be some level of trust. Like, small level of trust. If you're already getting fucked by a lurking player.
Go get him.
Fine. Smoking.
Nice.
2 more. Come on.
Spike down A.
Hopefully someone is gonna check the vents.
She's 1 HP.
I mean, you should be the one checking the vents right now.
It's unknown.
One enemy
It's
remaining.
unknown and lost. Looking
Will
mid.
be lurking.
Okay, listen. If enemies already have a guy that is lurking, and he is left alone, and you have a spike control. No, done. Done! It's 4v1. We don't need to fight anymore. We don't need to search for him. He is gonna come to us. Like, right now, your job is just to survive with this gun. Our economy is shit. Our economy is shit. You lose this gun. Next round, you're playing a force buy. Hull buy. You don't have money. Even if we win this round, you don't have money. You have 2,900 credits. Yes, your teammates can drop you, but why would we waste 3,300 credits for a kill? That doesn't matter. Right now, your job, just holding the back, playing with your Omen, while the Breach and Cypher are holding aim in. Period. Really, no, I mean, not only that you want to save yourself from dying, but also you want to save this, you know, if Omen picks a 1v1 fight now, who knows if he's gonna win it. Like in early stages of the game, like building a proper economy and preserving the numbers in Valorant is very important. Preserving the guns.
Left.
Well played.
That's through.
Faut voir son tracker, mais...
I don't know, man, like, to be honest, especially if you don't do any aggressive peaks in the B main area of the map in the first 4 to 5 rounds. Try doing a dead zone peek here, you know? Like, you don't need to commit to the fight. Just do fast run and gun. Run and gun. Run and gun. One of these bullets might be a stray bullet that hits a headshot. You get a kill. You're not risking your life that much. The only time when you're gonna die doing this is if an enemy is holding you with an operator. But enemies don't have the op on the attack. At least not yet. We never show them that we like to play aggressive. You're getting the info and potentially getting the kill as well. Like, literally the only times I've died when I was doing this is when enemies have the op on the opposite side. Then maybe you should not peek, obviously. Like, we should jump spot the enemies and get the information like that.
Moi, je vois pas des games de ouf à part sa dernière, mais...
No steps there. 1A. Waylay ramp solo. Breach stun from mid. 1A main.
Can stand
Go
them.
back, wait there, go out.
There's 2A, 2A.
You wanna go there? Go there, go there.
Very bad idea. Like, listen. Sometimes, you know, if your teammates give you some call out, you should use your brain as well. Brother, we are 5v4. Like, getting into that position is mega dangerous right now. Like, you have no info if enemies are in the Chinatown, in the sewers. Literally, an enemy can be here as well. Your breach cannot refrag you in this type of a fight.
I hold left, I hold left.
Like, this could have been your end. Literally your end. How is Bleach gonna refrag you here? No fucking way. If he was playing in the vents, this call out was good actually. To get into that position and then we can make some kind of a crossfire. But going alone here for no reason in a 5v4, we have the nade, boombot, 2 satchels, breach stun, breach flash, breach aftershock, omen paranoia, cypher setup, yoru flash, yoru teleport. Bro, I mean, why would we force any clean fights with the enemies?
Nice. Okay, go
Spike
back.
down.
Very good game decision now.
Mid.
You wanna push B main, Yoru? Together?
Yeah.
Come, let's all three.
Bomb buddy out.
One
Mid,
is male.
This idea here to take the B-main S3, I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, when enemies are pushing you onto the B tower, there's a lot of good off angles that you can take to maybe get a kill. Basically, you know, you can play here, wait for them to peek a bit, drop down. We can take this god angle, 3 kills. I only see very high Radiant players and pro players clearing this position when they're getting onto the B tower. If enemies are already pushing on B tower and you have 2 teammates pushing B main, I would just let 2 of my teammates push B main. They're already playing on a refrag potential. They have tons of utility. You know, they're playing a refrag game. But losing the B tower control now might cost us the life of Cypher and Omen. We're giving too much space for the enemies here. If they lurk through CT, it's gonna be interesting.
Waylay ramps on me, Omen.
There are mids, there are mids. Don't die, don't die.
And especially here. These 2 guys got all of the info that you need. You don't need to go with them anymore. Like, two players taking the space behind the enemies on the attacker side, more than enough. Like, we are 5v3. Now we need to fight for information. Like, basically, what you should have done, stay here. See if the enemies are going through tower. Try to get a pick. So we have the info, if enemies can cross into the CT, if they can take more space. By denying this information, I mean, gathering this information for your team. You know that enemies can either be on mid, in the vents, or going towards A site. This info here is crucial right now, because we have a huge numbers advantage.
I can decoy it maybe.
Just you break trip and go first. We bait you.
1A. I think 2A. Not sure.
Yeah, you turn it on it. There's one vent. One vent.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go vent, let's go vent.
Mid.
30 seconds left.
Well played.
Late. Mid.
Reste en B, reste en B, reste en B, reste en B. Au cas où ils font un split.
At a certain point, we need to start pre-firing that camera.
Very near me.
B.
I can stun ramp. I can stun
Really
ramp.
side.
Non, non,
Allez, on
stun
fly.
le site, stun le site.
Spraying the enemies with this smoke is mega dangerous. Like, literally, you know, if the smoke or wall is closer to you compared to the enemies, it is easier for enemies to find your body around this arc than you finding the enemies' bodies and heads through this arc right here. Essentially, like, enemies need only to spray this position. But right now, enemies can be all the way here.
Willie elbow, 1 HP.
I blind him, don't worry.
Good boombot, good boombot, good boombot.
Willie's 1 shot.
Also, as I said, we made that same positioning mistake that we made in the previous rounds. You have a Cypher with a full setup on the A site. You have Omen on the A tower. Let's fight for the ramp control, or let's simply start on A tower. From A tower, it's easier for you to support this type of a Cypher and to abuse this Cypher setup. We can just nade the enemies at the choke point, split them apart, peek through the smoke, use the satchels to get behind the waylay, kill her, support the Cypher. But if you just get smoke here and fully denied the entrance into site, Cypher is alone, and we better hit some miracle shots through this smoke.
Spike planted.
Plus, if our Omen dies on A tower, we're losing the tower as well. Now, I really hope that, you know, one piece of information that we engraved in our brain is that enemy Cypher likes to lurk. Like, we should be expecting the enemy Cypher inside of our anal cavity on A tower and in the CT right now.
You had your fun. My turn.
Rain are also side. 3 side right now.
Good satchel.
Cypher's unknown.
Speed firing.
One could be heaven.
Last player standing.
This round would have been 10 times easier if we preserved the A tower control. 10 times easier. It is simply impossible on split. Trying to go for the A set retake with 4 players to the CT. I don't know what type of magician you need to be in order to make that work. Like, even in some eco rounds, hull by rounds, like, if there's 4 of us, this is what we need to do. Or maybe some type of a 3-1 split. Very narrow choke point, exposed from millions of different angles. You need to focus more on this position. Not the main reason why we're losing these rounds, but one of the reasons.
You can't play against that one.
Right, alors qu'il y a un trap.
You crash.
2000 pink.
Cypher cam A.
I
but
will try
nothing else.
something on mid.
And listen, like, no matter how passive your teammates want to play on the A site, if the enemy Cypher is consistently using this camera, you need to tell your teammates to destroy it and pre-fire it. Like, that is just so much information for the enemy team. Like, are we rotating? How many of us are on the site? And shit like that. Are we taking the space in the A main? Also, during the retakes, if enemies have that Cypher camera, I mean, like, that's another disadvantage that we have.
I have nothing here.
Off your feet!
Har ju slökats farbror, minus Heidi on a Cypher.
Spike planted.
Can blind in the heaven. I blind.
This is a horrible angle to be at when you're retaking the B site. Right now, your gun is a bit sticking out. Enemies can actually see it if they're angled if they angle themselves like this. Like, you really don't want to get stuck into this position with a Vandal, Phantom, and wait for the enemies to destroy you. And hopefully, before we go for this retake, we're gonna use a boombot and nade to scout for something. I don't know. Right now, like, if you're going for the CT retakes with Raze, you really have a lot of different options. We can use the boombot for the left side and try to scout for the enemies here. We can use the nade for the site and try to... That's not a good nade. And try to push the enemies off from this box. Like, we can go for some airstrike nades above the enemies. Once again, that's not a good nade. Don't replicate that. But we need to clear some of these angles. You can also, if you think that an enemy is below your teammates, drop an nade there, fuck it. It's totally fine. But the worst thing we can do right now is instantly commit into some fights.
Yes, I can. As you do.
Like, that angle could have potentially be cleared with utility. I don't know what is the point of keeping your location a secret if your Omen is already fighting, like, alone from the tower. Like, we cannot just peek, into an unknown territory. And it's very easy, like, clearing the B set is very easy. Like, we just need to have some utility to clear this, and now everything is straightforward.
Last player stand.
No one come. No noise there.
It's
Once again, play semi-aggressively. Like, observe the enemy's utility usage. What they're stunning, what they're flashing, what they're revealing. We need to get that early information. In the B main, A main, maybe try to punish the enemies. Pick up the operator. Buy the op, go for a fast crouch peek from A main, from the ramp, in the B main.
they smoked.
Way too passive gameplay. Like, I mean, your starting position on A set is CT, and your starting position on B set is default. And now, even now, you should be playing with your breach. I mean, breach defending alone mid. We have no idea where the enemies are gonna go. Omen can live a happy life. He has teleports. He can just get the fuck out of this position. But if the breach dies, God help us.
They
Is he playing in the smoke? He is playing in the smoke.
they are on mid vent, could be. They are on mid vent, could be.
I don't know. Yeah, that position.
Understand?
Like playing mid alone. My guy plays mid alone, and he plays alone in the mail, bro. You need to correct these type of mistakes. I mean, it's a pure luck that he got his kill at this level. Literally pure luck. We needed to bait for him from the B tower, play with him. Like, you're just wasting your time right now. Like, two guys playing passively on B side without any specific setup to abuse.
Andre on Reyna.
If enemies, if you're already playing on the B side, and enemies are pushing you from the B tower, get on this angle. Try to get a kill. Like, this should be one of the off angles that you're abusing the most when enemies are pushing through tower. You should not always use it, but at least 1, 2, or 3 times during a match.
Three more.
Be mid.
But now leaving your Omen to Jesus Christ again. You know. Now Omen is gonna die alone. Our Yoru is AFK. We don't have a B tower control. We don't have a B side control. Enemies are gonna plant the spike. We are 2 versus 4 in a retake. What do we achieve? Nothing. Like, you don't need to fight for the map control aggressively. But you need to get early information. Dead zone the enemies. Jump spot them. Abuse as many off angles as possible to potentially get a kill. Actually, Omen and Giga Chad. This might save us the round now. This might save us the round.
Under it.
He go back B main alone. Okay. Hey GG.
One bench.
One enemy remaining.
B main.
Get le Yoru, genre.
Ouais, mais c'est depuis le début de la race, gros.
Spike planted.
Default.
Side close.
Don't have it.
Pillar.
Wait for the Cypher. We wait for the Cypher and we fight together.
He's not
No,
in.
he's nice.
Nice.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, here, when he was in CT, you should have went with your Yoru on rafters. I mean, like, listen. So your Yoru is already lagging. At least we can use him as a bait. You know? Like, what the fuck is Breach gonna do? Like, he needs to plant the spike. We can use this guy as a bait and reflect tool to kill the Breach. But the worst thing... We've done this retake in the worst way possible. We gave 1v1 fight, 1v1 fight, 1v1 fight to the Cypher.
Début ça.
Facilement.
Like shoot on here, I will kill
Tell me
the
when I stand like this.
If you bait me well, Raze, I will...
This round should work, to be honest. I don't know if Yuri is gonna come back, but I would definitely play A-set in this round because of Rule of Fear, and most of the times, you know, what we could have noticed in this match is whenever you punish the enemies on B or B tower, they instantly switch their focus towards A-site. So that is another great info that we should have gathered during this game.
Kill whale.
Cypher Kame. No steps.
You want to?
It's okay.
Can you get
Very good. We're not committing to the fight. Jiggle pick, dead zone pick. Good job.
They smoke?
Nice.
Nice. Low ball shot, I think.
Now we can bait the shit for this Omen.
They have no dash.
Once again, you're playing way too passively for what your teammates are doing. We need to connect with this Omen, otherwise Omen is gonna get fucked. I mean, here playing with Omen on ramp would be way too dangerous. Why? Because Breach can flash us, stun us, we can get fucked. But I will be playing at least this angle. And I'm ready to dodge the enemy's utility and to support my Omen with my utility. And to fight with him if he decides to overextend.
Multiple enemies.
Even.
2.
One maybe lord.
Listen, really try. Unless enemies are eco, halberd, or they have shit weapons, like, try to avoid this fight. Behind this box. Like, fighting behind this box most of the time is a suicide. It's fully spammable. And jiggle fight around this box is a huge 50-50. We made a numbers advantage. We have the ultimate. We can let the enemies swarm this position. Use the ult, use the nade, take the kills. That's it. Plus we have a Cypher camera.
Right side.
Cypher is like... Car vent. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to avoid doing this type of spam battles. Like, the box is here. You are here. Enemy Breach can be anywhere in this area. It is much easier for the Breach to find your body and your head instead of you finding his. Only take these spam battles when you're absolutely certain. Like, enemies are revealed with a Sova dart, I don't know, Cypher dart, something. You know exactly where they're standing.
Clover on it, walk out. Yeah, might try and cross vent.
Vent steps.
Breach blasting like
Move Cypher.
But one vents, one ramps. Two main, one vents, one ramps. Yeah, two up ramps.
Cypher in vent.
I don't know, man, like, to be honest, like, if I was playing this match, I would just... saving this ultimate for the next round is important. But to be honest, like, considering that we don't have the 8-hour control, considering that I don't know if Cypher is lurking, and I don't know what is going to happen with Breach, I will simply just send it here with the ultimate. And try to get at least one more kill on 8-hour before the Cypher starts, you know, demolishing our teammates.
Ils sont stuck devant toi, Breach. Tu vas les ult quand ça rentre BP, je t'ai dit.
Walking out.
Et ult dans 3, one after. Vas-y, ult.
30 seconds
No.
left.
Cage in the cage.
Spike.
Spike down A.
Play not.
In the ramps.
Vent.
We went on time.
Nice.
Okay.
Ah ouais.
Full garage.
Now in this round, once again, I would call for the same strategy as we did in the previous rounds. I would tell my Cypher, please pre-fire the camera there. I would start in the vents, guarding the mid, and I would be playing a fast rotation between A and B. Enemies are following the rule of fear. Chances are a bit higher that they're gonna try to do something on mid and B. Like, whenever you notice that enemies are following the rule of fear, that's how you position. Like, that's the only information that you have, unfortunately. You cannot gamble.
Vas-y.
C'est peut-être quoi il est.
I'll play mid.
Cypher tripped A, but there's no steps. Nice.
Spike down B.
I mean, right now, if you started in vents, already at this moment of time,
C'est la go du jeu. Genre.
you're above your Yoru. You know, we can use a satchel to cross the mid safely. And you're fighting with your Yoru, the enemies that are coming through B main.
Ouais, il cheat comme un porc, gros.
He's gonna push CT.
Last player
One HP on
standing.
Il m'a
Cypher.
lock, gros. Il m'a lock comme un porc.
Spike planted.
J'ai pas train, I guess. He's cheating 100%. Cheat at the game, he lock me all around.
Next. Go on, buddy out.
Okay. Listen, I mean, like, definitely you didn't lose this match. In some of these rounds where your teammates just fell apart. We lost this match in very specific rounds, especially on the attacker side. Like, we could have played the attack much better. And the starting rounds on the defender side could be much better. We will discuss everything else through private messages because I'm mega tired. And I think this VOD review was like 3.5, 4 hours. I think 3.5 hours, to be honest. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Join my Discord server for coaching and I don't know, playbook. Hang out with the community. You know, we're all there, helping each other out. Tune into my daily streams. They're not really daily these days because I'm moving to a new apartment, but hopefully soon. We're gonna do Unranked 2 Radiant with the Omen again. And yeah, that's it when it comes to the YouTube stuff. Thank you for watching.